Welcome in to a Wednesday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show, live here, driven and powered by Ghost Chevrolet. Remember, online at GEAUXChevrolet.com. Ghost Chevrolet is online right there. You can also find them 2 locations. One's out in LaPlace, the other, at Go Express Auto Sales, Florida Boulevard and Sherwood Forest, right here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Stop in and see them. Ghost Chevrolet driving us every single day. We're also brought to you by Metropolitan Health Group. Our phone lines, we got one guest, Sean Fox, who is the sports director up at 97.7 ESPN in Monroe, is going to stop by and give us a pregame look at LSU and Louisiana Tech tonight as the Tigers and Bulldogs square off in North Louisiana. A huge game up in Ruston. This is a game that's been sold out for a while now. We'll talk to Fox about what the anticipation's like up in the 318, getting ready for LSU and Louisiana Tech this afternoon. It's also LSU basketball. Tigers are going to play Kentucky tonight at Rupp Arena. Good day for sports in South Louisiana as LSU is going to be on the wood.
Sneaky good college basketball slate last night. Games were tight.
Yeah,
they were.
Yes,
they were.
Did y'all watch Vanderbilt? The end of that Vanderbilt-Alabama game last night?
No, missed that one, but I know
that
it got close. Alabama made a massive run.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was exciting.
Alabama is one of those teams where, just in a blink of an eye, they can be right at you because they shoot so many threes.
It's old school Warriors.
They're
Absolutely
crazy good. I wasn't expecting that.
I guess it's not old school Warriors. That's just showing my age. 2016, 2017 Warriors. It's whenever they would just go in an onslaught, and you're just like, oh goodness. Like I was up 18, and now I'm down 10.
Was Vanderbilt ever ranked this season?
No.
Or at the beginning of the season, they never were? Okay.
Tough out.
Yeah, they are. Very well coached.
Yeah.
Alabama was 8 of 28 from the three-point line last night. They hit the majority of those 8 in the second half and were able to hold off Vanderbilt 74-72 last night in SEC play. Arkansas was on the road, got a road win over Florida, 82-70. Florida, of course, another squad who beat up and beat Auburn last week. That was Auburn's second road loss in as many weeks. So the SEC and college basketball coming down the stretch here, and LSU Kentucky tonight from Rupp Arena. We'll talk a little bit about that one coming up here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Make sure you hit the like and share button. As we said, we're brought to you by Ghost Chevrolet, GEAUXChevrolet.com, and we'll talk to Sean Fox about the game coming up here tonight inside over in Ruston between LSU and Louisiana Tech. This is a huge one, man. Jay Johnson yesterday was speaking a little bit, and they asked him about midweek games, and he called it the most important game of the season.
Oh, no.
The season?
Yep.
Did he really?
Yeah, just because it's the next one.
It's the next one.
Does add RPI. This will be a nice one for RPI tonight as Jay Johnson gets his first taste of midweek baseball. Will Helmers feels like he's going to get the start for LSU tonight. He'll get the start for LSU tonight. Coffee maker.
I was like, what is that?
Got it.
Someone vacuuming?
Somebody got it.
Brought to you by.
Finally figured it out.
Majestic Coffee.
There you go.
I appreciate it.
Do you think that Jay Johnson knows what he's doing? Do you think he knew about the midweek snafus and how seriously LSU takes it? Somebody had to have told him that the comments you
games
made
matter.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
okay.
Paul Maneri, I'm sure, is
all right. And so do you think he's kind of trolling or no?
I don't know if he's trolling. He probably still has to get his experience.
Yeah.
He probably still has to find out what it's going to be like. But I'm sure he's been prepped. He's been told this is what it's like. This is what they think about it.
Yeah, some people take it very seriously.
But his first midweek game is a huge one.
It is.
Yeah.
It's an enormous game just as far as pride of the state, but also Louisiana Tech is as competitive as they are. Number 15 in the country. They were a super seed last year. They were a regional host last season. So this is going to be a stiff test for LSU as Louisiana Tech opened up with a 3-game sweep of Wichita State last weekend in Ruston. So look, this is a good team, and like we said, Jay Johnson will have his first. This is going to be an outlying midweek game. The majority of his midweek games are going to be played at the box in front of, a couple thousand people. There's not going to be a lot of people there, so it'll have the mood where does it matter or does it not matter? Tonight's going to feel like it matters. It's going to be jam packed. People are going to be tailgating. We'll talk to Fox coming up here at 8 a.m. about it, but
is Tech ranked?
The town of Ruston, 15th in the country.
15th?
Yeah.
Wow.
So the town has been looking forward to this for all summer.
All summer.
I mean, just all off season. Just
Wait, what season are we in? What day is this?
Where are we?
Just the entire off season.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they just been waiting for this one.
Yeah.
So they'll have my opportunity, and I mean, the town's going to shut down, man.
And Permian Panthers.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to rob
Going to the game.
Want to rob the town?
What does that mean?
Last one out, hit the lights.
It's the lights. Friday night lights. They,
okay.
they always they have like signs in the window
Yes,
every Friday.
that's right.
It's
I
like going
remember.
to the game.
Yes, I remember. Everything is literally closed. Is that what Ruston is like? I've
It
never
will
been
be
there.
tonight
Yeah,
for
tonight.
sure.
I've never
Tonight.
been there.
I mean, it's like West Monroe, right across
Yeah.
the river. I mean,
Never
that's
been
what it's
there
like for
either.
a football game, for a high school football game. Remember, as we said, daily, we're brought to you by Cajun Ready Mix Concrete, CajunRMC.com. Get in touch with Cajun Ready Mix. They're online at CajunRMC.com. They can help you out with any job, whether it is municipal, whether it is residential, industrial, or commercial. They can help you out. Cajun Ready Mix provides concrete products for services to meet all your concrete needs. They have 9 locations of plants around the greater Baton Rouge area, which means they'll get your concrete to you on time and to the exact specification. Get in touch with them online at CajunRMC.com. We're going to have your mailbag questions this morning at some point. Get your mailbag questions in if you want to just jump inside the bunker. We're on Instagram. We're in Twitter. We're on Twitter. If you want to jump in there and get your question. What you got?
That was Joe.
Joey. So LSU basketball tonight. LSU and Kentucky. This is going to be a tough test for Will Wade and his crew, looking to get right after a really bad loss or a tough loss last time out versus South Carolina. They had their opportunities to win the game, and they just let it go. Obviously, Kentucky is led by Oscar Tshiebwe, who is averaging 10 points over the last 10 games. He is a rebounding machine. He might be the National Player of the Year. He could be the SEC Player of the Year. He might be the best player in the sport. He is the toughest matchup when you just think about a guy who can run like he can get rim to rim. He rebounds. He's very active, and he's very athletic. So tonight, Kentucky in Rupp Arena, always tough. They're coming off of a nice win versus Alabama. They beat Alabama on Saturday, but they lost to Tennessee last week in the midweek.
But was that at Tennessee?
Yeah, and Tennessee's been playing revenge on a lot of people on the second go-around.
Kentucky is what's scary.
Yeah. Wildcats are 16-0 on their home court.
No.
They average
That's not
80
good.
And has outscored their opponents by 15 when they play at Rupp Arena. Tigers are 7-7 in the conference and 5th in SEC play right now. They're rebounded at just over 35 a game, and they'll have their toughest test on the glass tonight with Tshiebwe and the Cats. Severe Wheeler is a guy that got beat up the last time that LSU played Kentucky inside the Maravich Center in Baton Rouge. He'll be back tonight, but Ty Washington is banged up as well. So one of their primary ball handlers is a guy that's battling injury, but Severe Wheeler should be able to go for the Wildcats. This is going to be a tough matchup for LSU. They're going to have to play their best to go into this environment and be able to pull this win out. This would be a really solid, good, down the stretch win for LSU if they were able to pull this out and would help them into the postseason. Would the line open up at 8?
Yes, 8. I was about to ask you what the spread would be if you had looked at it before. It's right now it's at 7.
Yeah, I said 5. I think I said 5 to 6 yesterday. When I saw 8, I wasn't surprised by it.
Yeah, seems right.
But yeah, I mean, I'd imagine that it will probably hover from 6.5 to 8 until tip off.
Unless you tease it, get you a couple more points.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow night we'll all be at the PMAC for the women's basketball game.
Sweet.
Right, Jordan?
Right, Jordy?
Sweet.
You and the fam, huh, Katie?
I don't know about, I know it is. Nay, I got you a press pass for tomorrow night.
Hey!
She'll be covering the
Awesome.
game for the Culotta Show and for FM Digital Media. We'll have to get her a camera to get her over there, but she'll be courtside.
You can just bring it with you to the game and give it to her.
Representing? No, she's going to have to take it from here. Stewie and I are going to be in New Orleans all afternoon.
You'll be back in for game
we got a big
time.
project down in New Orleans that we're working on.
Right, Stewie?
Who knows
Get
what
back.
time we could be back.
Jesus, Jordy.
Might have a little.
Roped in Stewie on your little game.
We gotta get B-roll.
Yeah, we got a lot going
Don't
on.
let him
Inside
rope
New
you into
Orleans with
this.
Eric Asher.
You'll be back. You'll be back in time. I'm telling Kim Mulkey on you.
Nah, she already knows. She knows
She
how
does
weird.
not.
She knows,
She does.
she knows how weird I am.
Shortyism, dude. She knows. She knows. Don't even worry about it.
No, I'm telling you, she gave me the pack of tickets the other day. I said, they're all from somebody else, or not from me. You don't go to the games? I said, Coach, I'm a homebody. Right now, I'm getting my ass
As
kicked.
she watches you at all the men's games right there.
Right.
She's
No,
like,
that's not
oh,
true.
yeah.
That's not true. But speaking of LSU women's basketball, Jacques sat down with Kramer Robertson last night on Jacques Talk. And Kramer, and Kramer is a great, really a resource for his mom and kind of what she's trying to accomplish. And I think you can sense the motivation of Mulkey through Kramer of what she wants to really bring to LSU women's basketball, and that is turn it into what she had at Baylor, right? Just this enormous monster within the sport.
Such an interesting dynamic. I know it's talked about a lot, but like her son is essentially a mouthpiece for LSU women's basketball. But
He
we all
is.
think like the same way. We're like, yeah, Kim Mulkey's here. And he's like, I'm so pumped that my mom is the coach of LSU. This is
Right.
what
I know.
It kind of feels like this is what she's always wanted.
Yeah.
And to finally get the opportunity and to be able to do it this way, this fast, he's like, I mean, I hate to say that I'm shocked, but I'm shocked.
I know.
Like it's even my mother. I didn't even know that she was capable of making LSU basketball a winner this quickly.
Right.
So it's awesome to kind of have that alignment on campus of what it seems like they always wanted, and now for
Yeah.
it to be here and her still, it seemed like to be in her coaching prime.
I know.
As Kramer said, no, I don't think anybody expected it to happen this fast. He also said there's no telling what this could turn into. It could become a monster. I feels like it's going to become a monster.
It is.
Well, I mean, she didn't have any recruits here yet. And then Alexis Morris announced yesterday she's coming back
Yes.
for another season.
That's such good news.
Another one of the NIL athletes on campus with Gordon McKernan. Of course, Gordon is really kind of spearheading the NIL stuff with LSU. Alexis Morris was the first athlete that really anybody was talking about with the NIL space. Gordon inked a deal with her, and now Alexis Morris has really turned in to the leader or one of the leaders for Kim Mulkey, and her story is fantastic. I think it's really it's essential Mulkey, right? I mean, like it's kind of it's who she is wrapped up in one player. Now, credit to Alexis Morris. This is really the Alexis Morris story, but the main character or one of the top characters in this story is Kim Mulkey, right? I mean, where Alexis Morris is now coming back to basketball, college basketball, for a 6th season. She announced yesterday she'll be back for another year, which, you know, I mean, the experience and veteran leadership that you'll have with a 6-year player coming off the experience that she had this year is just going to be, you won't be able to really aggregate that. I mean, you won't be able to calculate that. That's going to be enormous for your locker room and on the floor, almost an extension of the coach on
that's
the
true.
playing surface. But the story of Alexis Morris, where she starts at Baylor, gets run off by Mulkey. Her and Mulkey just bang heads and can't get along, and she's got to find another route, and she goes from Rutgers to Texas A&M, and she finally starts to catch her feet at Texas A&M and turn into the player that everybody imagined that she would be coming out in recruiting. And now, when Mulkey gets the job, she goes out and recruits her out of the transfer portal, brings her into LSU, and within weeks she becomes the leader of the program, somebody that you can tell Coach Mulkey really trusts, like we just said, almost an extension of her from the bench onto the floor, a lot like Kim Mulkey was when she was a player. So I'd imagine that Coach sees a lot or just some of her within Alexis. And all of the personal stuff that they were able to battle through and find where they are now looks just like a beautiful journey, really, for Alexis Morris first, and then Kim Mulkey being back at LSU. This is very prideful. I hear what Kramer is saying, but one thing that when you talk to Mulkey that jumps out is how excited she is to be doing this in Louisiana. Like, I don't think that she's surprised. I think surely she is surprised by how quickly this has turned around, and they find themselves number 8 in the country after only winning 9 games a season ago with the majority of the team and the roster that they're playing with now intact. But as far as being surprised that she's able to come in, implement her style, her strategy, her principles, her teachings, and have a competitive basketball team, I don't think anybody's really taken back by that. But in the amount of time she's able to do it has been crazy. But the Alexis Morris story in all of that has really felt like it's propelled the entire season. Mm-hmm. You know, she's been the player. She's been the glue. She's been the person that, you know, has been the most counted on.
Yeah, when you watch her out there, you can see the communication between Alexis and Kim. It's almost like Alexis is an extension of her, like coaching her, their teammates, and like, you know, I mean, screaming those plays out like just like Kim does. Like they really jive out there.
Katie sounds like an LSU basketball fan. If I've just ever heard of one, keeps betting against
I
him.
am an LSU basketball fan.
That was impressive. I didn't know that I didn't know you were dialed in like that.
She is. She's
a
like
baseball fan too.
I'm so shocked.
Baseball fan too, huh?
No, it's not. It's not the sport. It's the team.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. I understand that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, it's happening.
Day by day.
Y'all seen
Day
it
by
happening.
day.
I like that Biggie shirt too, Katie.
Travis LeBlanc, anybody know the time for first pitch tonight? Is it 6:30?
That I don't know.
I don't know. It says
I'm gonna give you a
TBA.
confirm.
No, I believe it is 6:30.
Central time. I know that.
I would hope.
Brian Burgess, Will Wade should get some pointers on how to coach from Kim Mulkey. All right, Brian, easy, buddy. Easy.
Come on now,
Easy.
Brian.
John Smithsonian, proof that coaching definitely matters.
It does.
Kim Mulkey.
Baseball.
I think that
Baseball is at 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Oh, okay.
Central
Like
time.
that.
Central time.
Love that.
What time? And then what time is basketball?
Ooh.
Are we gonna have a little double header?
Watch party?
Yeah.
Maybe.
We'll double up.
We'll double up. Big ball on. Last time he was on.
Easy.
Speaking of basketball, I will be in New Orleans this afternoon for the Episcopal girls semifinal playoffs.
Really?
Yeah, so Izzy Besselman will be playing. This will be maybe her last game unless we make it to the finals. She's walking on the LSU team next year. And
Izzy,
she's amazing
she's
to
a
watch.
stud.
Oh, she's the stud.
Is this the game that was moved back
Yeah.
because they didn't have enough officials?
Is this a top 28?
No. This was the last game. They won the quarterfinals. This is the semifinals today in
This
New
is
Orleans.
the top 28 game.
This is top 28, so it's games are no longer on campuses.
Right.
Right.
This is at the Ilario Center.
Okay, wow.
We play Newman today.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exciting.
Basketball at 8 p.m. So
6
and 8.
6 and 8.
That's a long watch party, boys.
Yeah, maybe not.
What are y'all going to do?
I gotta get better at my excuses, like Jordy.
I know.
Well
You
earned.
went all
Yeah,
in.
maybe.
He comes
Lloyd
out with
said,
his excuses like immediately.
You got it,
He
Lloyd.
has an excuse already.
It's like that. It's like people wake up and say affirmation stories. Like, all right, what can I say in case I get caught in the corner?
Absolutely.
Affirmations.
Always have it out.
excuses.
Cross one off the list every morning. Oh, I said that last week. Shit.
Gonna be in New Orleans.
Traffic.
6 and 8 tonight is your game time start. 6 o'clock for baseball, LSU Louisiana Tech, and then 8 o'clock Rupp Arena, LSU basketball visiting Kentucky tonight. Of course, that'll be a part of ESPN's coverage on television, but that will be a late tip for you with LSU Kentucky.
Poll question: if you could only watch one, which one would you pick?
Tonight, surprisingly, I'd probably watch the baseball game.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little intrigued.
Exactly.
Me too. I mean, I'm interested to see. I mean, I don't
the
get
new
me
shiny
wrong.
thing.
Don't get me wrong. Exactly.
I know, but this basketball game is
It's
huge.
huge.
It is huge.
Still the new shiny thing.
I expect them to lose, though.
Me too.
I'm sorry to say that out
Oh.
loud. I'm sorry to say that out
Okay.
loud, but I mean, I know that they have 4 games down left in the stretch here, and I to me, when you look at the schedule, I've got them going 2-2. I've got them.
That's fine.
Yeah, I've got them losing tonight. I've got them at home winning against Missouri on Saturday. I've got them losing at Arkansas next Tuesday night, and then I've got them beating Alabama in the regular season finale.
Where do you see him seated at the end of all of this? And don't forget to factor in the agenda
9.
again.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think that feels like where they are right now. I mean,
Where are we with Ken Palm? Do you know?
I don't know.
Did you see where he put out like his predictions from last night's game? And if you would have taken all of his, like, he nailed like literally every game almost to the number on the point spread.
Really?
And if you would have taken his bets, you had like a 15-leg parlay that would have hit.
From last night's game? Oh my gosh.
And so I guarantee you people are going to do it tonight. They're all going to take Ken Palm's stats, and he should just.
Well, I mean, this is when you this is when you get rolled.
He has LSU at 18.
Ken Palm?
Yeah.
That's about a 9 seed, 8 seed.
I don't know how that works.
I don't know how it works either. I'm just looking at
Seems like a lot of math.
Yeah.
It does.
Way too much math for me.
Kentucky, Missouri, Arkansas, Alabama is the stretch tonight, and I would be surprised if they won tonight, really and truly. So if you gave me an option, the poll question, the Southern Eye Center poll question of the day, which sporting event would you watch if you could only watch one? LSU baseball tonight versus Louisiana Tech, or LSU basketball tonight at Rupp Arena taking on Kentucky? LSU baseball versus Louisiana Tech is going to be a top 15 matchup between the Bulldogs and the Tigers, as LSU has soared up the rankings list, high as number 2 in some polls, as low as number 10 in other college baseball polls. But a lot of respect for LSU coming out of opening weekend, where they banged around 51 runs in a 3-game sweep of Maine. It is Maine, but tonight's Louisiana Tech, and they'll definitely have a stiff test with a midweek matchup versus Louisiana Tech over in Ruston. So looking forward to watching that one. I would watch the baseball game, though, if I'm voting on the poll question. I would watch, which is probably surprising.
It's
but
shocking.
I mean, this lineup, I want to see them against competitive pitching. I want to see them in an environment that's going to be a little rowdy, a little raucous here early on in this. I mean, we're still in February here. And you're talking about a top 15 matchup in the midweek game. I'm in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Weather's going to be hot, too.
Yeah.
Balls
Coach
are going to be
Wade
flying
say,
around.
though,
Yeah, I
if he
know.
heard you? I feel panicked.
What?
What would Coach Wade say, though, if he knew you said that?
Fuck off.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
See if I answer on Monday.
Exactly.
Jordy, thought you didn't watch the game. Why are you calling?
Exactly.
Coach, y'all win last night?
Yeah, how'd it go?
So I don't know. We'll see, man. Daily, we're brought to you by Steel Henry. Here's our roofer over here. Feel the steel. Remember, get in touch with our guy. A wingman of Ethan Posick back in the day at Bogies. Since we got a little insight there from EP.
Steel is an excellent wingman.
Yeah.
Great guy to be around.
I bet.
Great guy to have around.
318-229-7266. 318-229-7266. That's right. If you need roofing repair anywhere around South Louisiana, he's based out of Lafayette, but anywhere. If you can hear this and you need roof help, get in touch with our guy, Steel Henry. 318-229-7266. 318-229-7266. Hargrove Roofing. Know who is on your roof, and when you call Steel, you'll feel the steel.
Say field the steel for 15% off.
Okay.
No, not really.
Wait, what?
He's lying.
Still
He's lying.
emailing me like, I didn't give you a promo code.
If you say feel the steel, you get a free roof.
Oh, my
You
God.
get a free roof inspection for sure.
Call Steel today.
Guy.
Peyton Mitchell, I'm from Ruston. It will be far from hot. It's going to be cold and raining. Disgusting. Never mind.
really?
I'm watching the basketball game.
Well, you don't have to
Yeah,
go.
you're not going to be there.
Yeah,
in
but I mean,
person.
still, it'll take away from the.
It takes away from the.
It
Takes away from the offensive fireworks I was tuning in to watch, doesn't
Well,
it?
yeah, you want it to be scenic.
Oh, my
Yes.
gosh. That's
I mean,
amazing.
I wanted a pretty fall baseball day.
I retract my vote. I'm going to Rupp Arena.
There we go.
This guy.
I thought I saw Caparata say it's going to be hot.
Is it on TV? Is it televised?
ESPN
The game?
Plus.
Plus.
Oh.
Okay.
Plus. A little plus.
What? Why
I
did
don't
you?
have the plus.
That's
I
right,
think
you
I can go.
don't.
If you have SEC Network, though, I think you can still watch the game without rolling through the. Maybe I'll get the password from somebody. Noah probably has yours from your
Mine?
house. Yeah.
I think I got you, Lloyd.
I mean, I think it's just there.
Hulu.
Yeah.
I got a Hulu account.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Got you, bro.
Do we have it here? Do we have ESPN Plus here?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
We do?
Man.
You just said that. You have no idea, do you? That was,
No, we do.
you're so certain for a second.
But you have to have the TV package.
I have
Yeah.
ESPN Plus.
On your phone.
Right.
And you screen share from your phone to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
TV.
yeah. So
That's
you have
how so just leave your phone and I'll do it.
Nah. No. I played this game too many times. All right, we're going to talk to Sean Fox coming up here
Leave
in
your
30
wallet,
minutes.
too.
Yeah.
I'd leave that first.
Definitely gonna leave his keys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't
That's
find
right.
those
Your
some
keys will
bitches
be here
ever.
anyway.
Unless Joe's here. I saw him behind the refrigerator underneath the.
Unreal.
That
What,
was
what were you doing over there?
Who put them there?
Who did that?
All right, we're going to talk to Sean Fox about this LSU baseball game coming up here at 8 o'clock this morning. Make sure to hit that like and share and comment button. Anybody see what J.J. Redick said about Zion, on Zion? You know what? Credit to J.J. Redick. It has been, I think, almost past due time to call the athlete out here. And I am a player first. I'm all about player protection, and I look out. I'm always on the player side when it comes down and there is a battle between management and player. I'm 99% of the time going to side with the player. But in this instance, I have sided with the player now for, it feels like, a year and a half in Zion Williamson. And J.J. Redick, a former NBA veteran and a guy who played 13-plus seasons in the league and a former teammate of Zion, really just went in on him yesterday on ESPN's platform, where he was going at him for being a bad teammate.
Yeah, that's big.
Redick
That
says
hurts.
there's a responsibility that you have as an athlete when you play a team sport to be fully invested. This was on First Take, a part of ESPN, on Tuesday. You're fully invested in your body, you're fully invested in your work, and you're fully invested in your teammates. That is your responsibility, and we have not seen that from Zion. Redick went on to say, this is something that I addressed with Zion in front of the team. This is going back to his rookie year. Redick said, this is a pattern of behavior that we've seen with Zion, and we're seeing again and again. I was his teammate. I can describe him as a detached teammate. That is an accurate statement, Redick said yesterday on ESPN's First Take.
I didn't know these were issues in his rookie year. Did y'all?
It's obvious that he came in with an agenda to New Orleans and said, this is how it's going to be if I'm going to be on this team. J.J. Redick's terms in New Orleans ended horrifically. It ended on a sour note.
How? How so?
Because Redick was brought in from David Griffin's standpoint to be the shooter, to be the veteran, to be the guy in the locker room that was really going to lead the group and get them stable in year 2 of Zion's existence. He was going to be the guy, the leader in the locker room, the veteran, because at the end of the day, J.J. Redick's a phenomenal shooter. He's one of the best college basketball players ever to play the game. He has had a really good NBA career, but one thing that is really evident if you listen to his podcast when he has either teammates, former teammates, or people in the league on, is that cat is very well respected amongst his peers. Whether it's Chris Paul, whether it's Dwight Howard, whether it's anybody within the league, there's a scale and a spectrum of guys that play in that league, and J.J. Redick has had them all on his podcast. And you can go back and you can see some of the conversations. He's very personable. You can tell he's very well liked. He's very well respected. He's a hard worker. People will come on there and talk about stories of trying to keep up with Redick and his workout. Within the first 30 minutes, people are like, I'm out.
People are throwing up.
Yeah, people are like, this isn't for me. So he is very well thought of in the NBA community as a guy who's played it. He's now talking about it, and he's got great relationships in the league. And his term in New Orleans came to the end with a lot of bad blood because him and David Griffin had a good relationship. Griffin was bringing him in to kind of be his guy. The things that Griffin sold Redick on early in free agency or while he was bringing him in, I don't think played out. Both of them were kind of frustrated within the relationship. Redick asked Griffin to do him a solid to send him up to Brooklyn and trade him to Brooklyn because that's where his family was. He wanted to get back around his family. I think behind closed doors, it was as if Redick kind of believed that Griffin agreed to do that. Redick wakes up one day and he's shipped off to Dallas. He was pissed. He didn't like his experience in New Orleans. He thought the organization was kind of lost. He said that. And now here he is on a national platform with a big voice talking to NBA viewers, and he's got the opportunity to dump on the Pelicans if he wants. People know about his experience. He's put it out on his podcast. You can go out there and find his take on the Pelicans and David Griffin.
And Van Gundy.
And yesterday, he takes the opportunity knowing that New Orleans is probably a little bit of a train wreck, trying to figure it out, get things right behind the scenes. But now it's trending into, this is now more Zion's fault than it is the franchise's problem. The franchise, it seems like, has bent over backwards, and that's probably the real issue at the end of the day. Is somebody just saying, hey, man, look, we're done giving you what you're asking for. Just play basketball. Just do that first. Build your brand. Get your respect. Are you a hard worker? Come back from injury. Can you sustain? Keep yourself in shape. Stay out of the training room. Stay out of the restaurant. Stay out the buffet line. And just play basketball. And I thought that was refreshing for Redick yesterday, just to say, hey, man, we've spoke about this privately, and now here I am publicly saying that Zion is a bad teammate. He's detached. I mean, C.J. McCollum is the president of the Players Association in the NBA. That title alone shows you the respect that he has amongst his peers and what they think of him. Forget the type of player he is. The type of guy he is solid, stand up. People in the league that play the game want him to represent them as a whole when they speak to ownership. C.J. McCollum is their mouthpiece. He's the guy that goes back to the players and said, what do we want to do? Or here's our plan. Here's what we're going to present. Zion won't call that guy back. Yeah, that's a shitty teammate. But what's C.J. McCollum going to think about Zion Williamson in 3 years when the Players Association's getting things done? And Zion should really be the face of the league. And he couldn't even get a call back from the guy when he's his teammate on the weekend that he was traded? What is going on?
But we've never heard this before, right? About him being a bad teammate? Like,
Not from one of his teammates.
I know.
I mean,
So,
we've all
like,
speculated that he's overweight. He's not at the games. He doesn't show up for practice. He's not working out with the team. Is he having a second surgery? Nobody knows. It's obviously him and David Griffin don't get along. I mean, that media day circus that they did a couple of months ago, I mean, that fake kumbaya stuff is not, that now looks even worse.
But that's all been more recent. Like, nobody was talking about Zion this way in his rookie year.
Yeah, because nobody knew.
Well,
I mean,
obviously J.J. Redick did.
Now you have the data.
So why didn't he come out then and say he was a bad teammate?
Because you're not
it's
going
just-
to do that.
you don't
You're
air
not
that
gonna do
out
that in
during
the
the
fraternity of the
season.
NBA
He has
league.
such a big problem with him. I just think it's weird that this all comes out like right now.
No,
Why? That's not weird. It's his
weird
first
to
year.
me.
His
It's
first year in
sad
the
to me.
league. He's his teammate.
Right.
Nobody when somebody's team is going to go publicly and say this guy's a bad teammate. Nobody's going to do that.
I know. They're just kicking him when he's down.
Like he said, he told him privately in front of the team. I mean, if you're Zion Williamson and J.J. Redick stands up in front of you and your teammates, and we both went to Duke.
The
I love you, man. I got your back. But you got to get better. You got to show up to practice. You got to show up to play. You got to keep yourself in shape. You got to be a pro. Let me teach you how to be a professional. That's how the life cycle of the league works. If you're going to get these one and done guys in the league like Zion Williamson, who shows up at 19 years old, and you just throw him $20 million and say, figure it out. Well, you got to have people in your life like J.J. Redick who says, hey, man, listen to me. Stay away from that stuff. Do this stuff. And you're going to have to figure this stuff out on your own. But let me help you kind of get to the easy parts. And JJ, it sounds like, was trying to do that as his teammate. But now that he has a public platform, 2 years later, it's gotten worse. And now it's his responsibility to call that stuff out. And
I just
Redick
hate
is
to kick someone when they're down, especially like
Zion Williamson's not down.
Well, he is. We don't know if he has to have another surgery.
Yeah, but
or
Zion
not.
Williamson, this is because of Zion Williamson.
Mm-hmm.
Zion Williamson needs to take on the responsibility of what is happening to his career. I mean, it's very simple. We saw what you looked like when you get yourself in shape.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like, I mean, he looked like a cartoon character 2 years ago in the bubble. And then within a blink of an eye, he's out of shape, he's injured, he's overweight, he's not around. He doesn't show any signs of commitment. And for a guy like J.J. Redick to call that out publicly, hopefully that can be something that you can say within Zion's camp, if you're on his team, if you're with him, if it's Zion that just says, all right, enough's enough. I mean, we've been in the league now for 3 years, and we've played, 40 games? I mean, this is such bad business. I mean, at the end of it, I mean, we can debate like kicking while you're down, hurting the brand, falling out of shape. I mean, be a pro. Be a professional.
And that's why they brought J.J. Redick in. I mean, Van Gundy called him. He had worked with him before in Orlando. And even when J.J. got the call, he goes, oh, shit, him again? Like, he didn't really like working with Van Gundy because Van Gundy expected so much of him.
Right.
And he brought him to New Orleans to do exactly what Jordy said. Like, Zion needs leadership and guidance to, all right, this is how you make it in the NBA. These are the steps you have to take to be a superstar.
Yeah.
I'm not nearly as good as you are, but I know the work that you have to put in and know how to do it. And if you follow me, I can get you there. Like, it doesn't matter where you're playing. You will be the face of the NBA like you're supposed to be. And for him to not really take any credence to that, that's when JJ checked out. He's like,
I question it.
It's like, this ain't going to work because he's only played 85 games.
85. Travis McGraw says JJ getting pod clicks. It wasn't on his podcast. Travis?
It was
on ESPN, First Take. He's sitting on cable television.
He ain't pumping anything.
Yeah,
like
he's not trying to get people back to his podcast.
This is a frustrated NBA player. This is like a guy that understands what the NBA is about, and him seeing it happen and going, Zion's got to figure it out.
Well, it's also somebody who played 13 years in the league, undersized. And, without the essentials that it takes to play in that league. And now you're looking at a force that wakes up out of, he rolls out of bed and can be a first-team All-Pro. And
he didn't want to get out of bed.
And he don't want to, and he's not moving. I mean, I really am. Like, my question about Zion would be the same that I have for Ben Simmons. Do you really love it? Like, do you really love basketball?
You're just good at it.
Well,
or is it something that you're just naturally skilled at? Your size, all your attributes just kind of feed into it. But now that it's time to be a pro, be a professional. Like, this is it. You're now at the apex of your career in basketball. It doesn't matter if you're in New Orleans. It doesn't matter if you're in Philadelphia. It doesn't matter. Just play basketball.
I just want to hear his side. We're only hearing the opposing side.
Well, he's got an opportunity to speak.
I know he has an opportunity, and I'm waiting for that. Like, I'm not judging this until I hear his side. I've only heard the negative.
Zion's camp released a message that said he has reached out to C.J. McCollum since the J.J. Redick thing. So it's like you needed a kick in the ass. Like, now it's too late.
Right.
Well,
now that looks
talked
almost worse.
And you shouldn't put that statement out.
Right.
Like,
so now you're live.
So now you're listening.
Yeah, you're listening.
So now you're listening and reacting. And I'm going to tell you that I'm listening and reacting.
Well,
like, who is running his public relations?
I think his dad is like his like.
Well, then he needs to be removed.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, it's time for somebody to step up within that represents him within the agency, or represents him within his marketing team, or represents him within his financial team, and say, we're screwing this guy up. Like, this prospect, this player, this character, Zion Williamson, when he was coming out of Duke, it would have been hard to do the damage done to his brand that has been done over the last 2 years. And I know it's not just about brand, but I mean, think about watching Zion at Duke. And then think about having those feelings of, what's he going to be like in the league? And then he gets to the league and you see signs of it, but really 3 years in, you're wondering, is he ever going to play again? Like, where is he? And somebody behind the scenes is kind of, puppeteering that, pulling the strings on that.
And the NBA has to be a little concerned about it because he was NBA, absolutely going to be the next face. He's the next one up.
Look at last year's television schedule. I mean, look at last year's TV schedule. What the Pelicans had, they had something like 30 primetime games. I I mean, they had him playing on Christmas Day. They had him playing at Thursday night on TNT. They had him playing in all of the major spots and slots. And this guy didn't even show up for the games anymore. I mean, it's insane to see the drop off of where he is compared to just where he was a year and a half ago. And I'd love to hear I'd love to hear Zion's side of the story too. But if those are the statements that I get when Zion speaks, somebody needs to close the door and say, everybody sit down. Like, quit talking to people in code through statements. Call a press conference, sit down and answer a question. Go live on IG. Go live on your Twitter. Open up and talk to people. Show people that you're there. Put out a video of you working out. Tell people if you need to have surgery or not. And it's not even really about the fans or the people. Tell your organization. Tell your employer. Be a pro. That would be my statement to underline to Zion. Be a professional, man. Like, quit letting your dad handle all this stuff. Hire a manager. Go talk to somebody in the league. Call John Morant. Call somebody who's having success and ask them, what's going on? How are you doing this? I don't know anything about John Morant's mom or dad. I feel like every time I hear about Zion, it's something about his mom and his dad. Whether it's his dad talking to the press or it's his mom buying houses in New Orleans or it's whatever it is, it's like, where's the basketball player? We're all here to watch him play. He doesn't play. He doesn't even show up. Like, how have you screwed this up so royally? I don't know. It's maddening, man.
Yeah, it is. Clearly, there's something going on. I just am waiting to hear his side.
Well, he also had
he posted on IG. He just posted, last night the game winner, just one little clip of the Pelicans winning. So he's watching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that's probably like somebody's like telling him like, dude,
you have to
engage.
You're on the team.
Like, do something.
And that's this is.
And that's the extent.
Yeah, that's,
you know what
that's
I mean?
what
It's
you
just
did.
like
That's a fart.
I would if that is what it is, and this is just perception. Like, I would see that and I would say that he's checked out. And I would love to hear. I would love to ask him, are you in or are you out? And if he's like, okay, you're out. Trade his ass. I would trade him today because now is the time where you can get value for him. All he's doing is devaluing himself. You know what I mean? Like, his value is continuing to plummet.
I don't think it could be lower than it is right now.
Well, I mean, you just let a couple more days go by and not see him. You know what I mean? Like, stop the bleeding. I mean,
well, a response has to come out now after this JJ Redick thing, right?
Right. I think
like, you can't not say
it would be easy to trade him. Like, not easy, but that would be like the easy decision to get him out the building. But this is probably the last gasp to hold him accountable. Like, look,
Yeah.
do you think this is the way that you want it to go? Like, if you think it's bad in New Orleans and you want to go to New York,
Right.
imagine what that media is going to do to you. You'll get eaten alive,
Oh my
dude.
gosh, yeah.
Like, this is easy right now. And you're making it harder on yourself than it has to be. But if you go to New York and you think you want to be there, you force your way there, and they stink because the Knicks have perennially stunk, but you got your way, you're still going to get eaten alive because they want a winner.
Yeah.
And right now you haven't proven that you can win. All you've proven is you kind of want to get your own way but don't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even prove you can stay in shape.
Right.
Let alone win.
yeah, that's 2 straight days of Zion in the 7 o'clock hour.
I know, but it's
know,
newsworthy.
it
It
is.
is worth
It
talking
is
about. Didn't even
newsworthy.
watch it. I mean, I didn't know the Pelicans played last night.
Yeah, me either.
But that's why, right? If the Zion was on the team, I would probably be watching and be interested.
Or at least watch the highlights.
Right.
I think he's going to show us.
There you go,
I think
Katie.
we're going to eat our words. I do.
He's been eating everybody's words.
I mean, that's
He's
just
been eating
my
his ass on
opinion,
a
my
treadmill and get
feelings
back to
around
shape.
it.
I mean, you're not going to see him this year.
We'll
Man.
come back to this.
You don't think so?
I mean, look at him.
I haven't seen him.
I mean, it's going to take him, if he looks like what he looks like in the Mountain Dew commercial, it's going to take him half a year to get back into playing shape anyway. You know what I mean? He's not going to be.
Well, have you seen him since then? When was that commercial even made?
I have
He
no
could
idea,
be
but that's
a
the last
beast
time I've
right
seen
now.
him.
Like, we have no idea what he looks like.
Sounds good, Katie.
If he was,
Right?
if he was a beast, you would
Saying.
see
You
him.
would see
Yeah,
it.
he would be
Maybe.
showing it.
I mean,
Maybe.
what's he hiding from? I mean, why is he hiding?
Was he even at All-Star
mean-
Weekend?
No, I don't know. But people are saying, like, exactly. He should be winning the dunk contest. He should be out there, like, the face of the NBA.
Or even if he is,
can't be the face of the
even
Pelicans.
if he is hurt, he should be an All-Star Weekend. You know what I mean? Like you're one of the most well-known players on the planet. Everybody in your sport is in one town for the weekend. Where are you? I mean, it's
maddening.
It is maddening.
And
it really is.
To put a bow on it, like we talked about a little bit about this yesterday, we say to be the face of to be the face of the NBA, he's supposed to be next up. He's not even on the Pelicans'
ticket plan
for next year. Like that's as low as it can get to where you have a marketable superstar that like we can't even put him on the ticket, dude. Like we don't know where he is.
Edward Jones brings you the Jordy Culotta Show. Remember, Daniel Newman, our friend over at Edward Jones in Central Louisiana, can help you out today with all of your financial questions, especially if you work within the plant industry over at Exxon, Dow, BASF, any of them down here around South Louisiana or in this listening area. If you're over in Houston, we have one of our listeners over in Houston get in touch with Daniel Newman, who got him right and can answer him some questions within that industry on 401k and Social Security and investment opportunities. Get in touch with Daniel, 225-261-8262. 225-261-8262 is where you find him, and get in touch with him by calling him directly, or you can email him, daniel.newman@edwardjones.com, daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. He can help you out as he's helped us out over the last year. We rolled over our 401k to Daniel Newman, and he has been very easy to work with, has been fantastic, and has been very helpful with fiscal advice going into our second year of partnership together. Let Daniel help you today. Get in touch with him, daniel.newman@edwardjones.com, daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. All right, Trey Holly, who is a North Louisiana running back, has scheduled his visit. He's a dog.
He is
he's a dog.
player coach.
He has scheduled his visit to LSU, as he was going to be coming in on the weekend of March 5th. He tweeted both at Coach Brian Kelly and at Coach Frank Wilson, the number one running back in the state of Louisiana. And we'll talk to Sean Fox about him coming up here in a little bit. Trey Holly out of North Louisiana. He's up at Union Parish High School. And if you've seen some of his highlights, man, he's big time. And LSU missed out on a running back class. They got some guys to come in. They got some guys out of the transfer portal. But as far as, the two top running backs in the state, Le'Veon Moss and Trevante Citizen, LSU missed on both. So Trey Holly, who's the number one running back in the state for next season, is an absolute must-get. Watch this cat hit the hole.
This is unbelievable.
This is unbelievable. I mean, see ya.
Wow.
He's gone, dude.
The foot in the ground.
15.
I mean, look at him running away from them. I know that's a high school football, but look at him. He is gaining.
He's
I mean,
amazing.
He's gaining speed.
he's gaining
running.
speed as he's running
how
away from that
Wait,
cat.
how tall is he?
Like 5'8".
Yeah, I mean,
But he might not even. That's football measurements. So it's probably
Yeah.
5'7".
Well,
Oh my
Quadro.
gosh.
Look at that spin move.
but he's bigger
foot
than
in the ground.
he's bigger than
Go play
Clyde.
soccer,
though.
dude.
Yeah, he's way bigger than Clyde.
15's back on the
Is he
soccer
really?
field.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's thicker than Clyde.
Yeah.
And he's a junior in high school,
Dang.
so he'll just get bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's a must get. I mean, LSU has to get him. Yeah. The foot in the ground.
The foot in the ground. That's the
over.
one.
Over.
If you could
15
put that
got
foot in the
lucky.
ground and score after that, that's like
impressive.
Absolutely.
We got a player.
So he'll be in town March 5th in recruiting. You would think with Frank Wilson leading the charge here that LSU is going to be in a good spot leading that running back room. But we will also talk to Sean Fox coming up here in a couple of minutes about Holly, because he is very well versed on him up in North Louisiana, has covered him and watched him play a lot, and we'll ask him some of the schools. Everybody's in on him. It'll be Alabama, Texas A&M, LSU, Georgia, Florida, all the usual suspects coming down to North Louisiana trying to get him. But with LSU's need for a running back, the way that they missed last season on the top two gets, it is monumental to get Trey Holly in this class. In fact, that is Foxy texting us now saying that he's ready to go. We'll take a break and flip over the set. We'll be right back with more of the Jordy Culotta Show, brought to you every day by Go Chevrolet. Remember, hitting that like and share button. We'll start to preview Louisiana Tech and LSU. Sean Fox is going to be up there. Louisiana Tech tonight over in Ruston. We'll ask him about the Bulldogs and this Louisiana Tech team after all the success last season. Then we'll ask him a little bit about recruiting. Trey Holly, the running back, the number one running back in the state next year out of Union Parish, where he sees him going as far as his recruitment goes. Come back with us.
That's what got me. It's gonna be hot here, but cold up
that's
there.
So dumb.
Wow.
What a
Yeah, I hate the climate.
Yeah,
here.
South.
It's ridiculous.
We just call it South Arkansas above
yeah.
Alexandria.
That's right.
Really?
That's right. I'm glad A-Town made the cut.
Oof, barely.
Barely. There's some places in A-Town that you know,
Tip
you
of the
might be
spear,
venturing-
boy.
you might be
Tip
venturing a little too
of the
far.
spear, buddy. Just see if we can't just scrounge him in a little bit. Yeah, throw Ash in there. They're
Get players.
Had a couple of linebackers over there. We get, all
A
right.
lot of Lloyd's running around out there. We're not winning anything.
We scraped that park back, put that back in South Arkansas.
Catholic.
In fact, we will go to South Arkansas, Monroe next here and talk to our guy, Sean Fox, who is up at 97.7 and give us a preview of LSU and Louisiana Tech next year on the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet.
I mean, Pelicans didn't even play yesterday in the NBA All-Star break. We don't know what we're talking about. I mean, yeah, what are you doing?
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you daily by Morales Roll-Offs. Morales Roll-Offs provides dumpster rentals for residential and commercial needs in Baton Rouge and surrounding areas. Morales has roll-off dumpsters ranging from 10 yards to 40 yards to accommodate all of your disposal needs. Search online, moralesrolloffs.com.
Papa Earl's, the fine spice, originating right down here in South Louisiana by our guy Mark Pop Norman. Developed it back in 2018 and won Amazon's Newcomer of the Year in 2019. They pride themselves in having 30% less salt and sodium than the leading brands at the same price point. You can find them locally. Look for Papa Earl's at Rouse's, Calandro's, Mathern's, High Neighbor, and more. Do you have questions about your finances? Are you looking for recommendations from a skilled financial advisor? Get in touch with our friend Daniel Newman over at Edward Jones. You can find him easily by logging online and shooting him an email at daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. That is daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. Whether it is help with your 401k or just fiscal advice heading into the new season, get in touch with Daniel today. Best way to do it? Email him, daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. He's our experienced financial advisor. Let him be yours, daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. Rico Delgado steadily bullying people inside of the chat like he does every day.
Rico, I can put you in timeout, dog.
Rico.
Say
I already
it.
told him to
Relax,
be nice.
guys.
Chill out,
Relax.
chill out, Co.
It's all. Is
What's
this,
wrong,
Is this
Rico?
Wednesday?
Every day,
It's always
Every day.
midweek.
Every
Yeah.
day.
He's a
Every
midweek
day.
anger guy, though. He'll start to
Every
calm
day.
down towards Friday.
Just take your Friday
Tuesday's
attitude.
really his worst day.
Tuesday is tough.
All right, let's go up to South Arkansas as North Louisiana tonight is going to be playing host to LSU basketball. LSU baseball. LSU is playing Louisiana Tech, and that's going to be a huge one up in Ruston. Our guy is over at 97.7, the man. Sean Fox, you can follow him on Twitter. He is the sports director of Sports Talk 97.7 over there in North Louisiana. They're online at sportstalk977.com. You can catch him this afternoon at 3 o'clock over there, and we're on with him every Thursday. Foxy, good morning. How are you?
See, I'm just now coming on the show, and you got the shot. Yes, we're a bunch of Yankees here in North Louisiana / South Arkansas. There it is. You know, first of all, I just want to get something about that. I have been spreading the gospel of Culotta forever. It's about damn time I get to come on your show.
Aww.
Thanks for having me, bud.
Foxy, I didn't know you were such a morning person, buddy. I hit him with a "you up" an hour ago. I mean, it started bubbling as soon as I sent it.
Money don't sleep.
That's it.
That's right.
That's it.
Hey, look, I got a kid in Catholic school and competitive cheer. It's breaking your boy. I have to open a gym twice a week, so I've been up since 4, Jordy.
Same.
I feel that, Foxy.
Yeah.
When you're ready to go that independent route, you holler at FM Digital Media, buddy. We'll own South Arkansas.
My people. Yeah.
Foxy, what's the temperature first? Let's go climate. That's
Cold.
what
That's very cold. Yeah.
really.
I don't know if you're talking about the temperature of the room, or it's probably going to be low 30s and windy in a small ballpark.
Gross.
Yeah, it's awful. And I'm doing my show outside on the concourse from the stadium tonight. It's going to be awesome.
Fuck's sake.
He thought he was doing a good thing.
Yes,
We're gonna
you thought you were cornering it. We'll be there.
Not exactly bald man weather.
Yes, no, Foxy going beanie for sure. What is the
beanie.
So what is what this thing has been pumped up for all off season? This is a huge game for Louisiana Tech on campus. Do you still think that they're going to show up?
Oh, brother, it's been sold out for weeks. I mean, they're not missing this. They're missing church tonight in Northeast Louisiana for this baseball game. That tells you anything. Wednesday, we are on the cradle of the Bible Belt. Yes, Jordy, it doesn't look. It's not as big as hosting an NCAA tournament, right? Like Louisiana Tech has never done that. And last year they had NC State, who could have been arguably had the coronavirus not ended their College World Series, right? Could have been the champs. Alabama came to town. That was tremendous. So that's obviously the biggest thing that you'll host up here. But as far as regular season, last year they had Ole Miss and Arkansas. Both were top 5 teams in the same week.
Damn.
That's massive. But this is bigger just because it is the brand that is LSU. Like, and this is not taking away from what Ole Miss and Arkansas are as baseball programs. They're tremendous. But LSU is a blue blood. It's a brand nationally, let alone here in North Louisiana, where most of our listening audience is just like your audience, surprisingly, I know, even though we do pump into South Arkansas. Thank you for the plug. It's mostly LSU fans. So you haven't had them here since 1997. And let's be honest, the two baseball programs haven't been on a level playing field. Well, now all of a sudden, Louisiana Tech has started to become a player, at least at their level, in college baseball. So this is probably the biggest matchup you can get because, yeah, they're coming to Ruston for the first time since 97, but they're actually not coming to play a pushover Louisiana Tech baseball program, which for a long time that I've covered them, until really the last 5 or 6 years, that's what Tech's baseball program was. It's an afterthought. It is certainly not anymore.
Yeah, Foxy, how did we get here? When did we get to this point for Louisiana Tech baseball? Because it felt like down here in South Louisiana that you woke up one morning and they were competitive, but as you've just detailed, I mean, this has kind of been a stacking process for the program.
Well, the good hires help. They haven't had a losing season in the last 7 years. And up until that, it was almost every year that I've covered them has been a losing season. Greg Goff, who is now the head coach at Purdue, he actually did a 1-year stint that probably everybody forgets. He sprung board the Tech job. I don't even know if that's a word, but the Tech job to Alabama 1 year, didn't work. Ended up going to Purdue, but he got in a short amount of time, I think 2 years, he got Tech into the NCAA tournament. And they followed that up with hiring Lane Burroughs, who did a very good job at Northwestern State with the Demons. He hasn't had a losing season. And I hate to say this, Jordy, but what's really taking it to the next level, nobody really ever, nobody wants to see a tornado come through town and rip up a town and rip up a campus. But that's what happened 2 years ago. And it destroyed J.C. Love Field. And at the time, that place was never going to host an NCAA tournament, ever. But they were on the rise. People were starting to, because let's be honest, as a Tech, a ULM, the most success you're going to have is baseball. Honestly, these are and should be baseball schools because that's the most competitive you're going to be. You're not going to win a national championship with football. You're not going to do it in basketball. Man, you've got a chance to get into Omaha at this level. You had a little success. People were starting to buy in. It really was the perfect storm, very pun intended, with the tornado when all of a sudden you just had this wave of momentum. They did a beautiful job. First of all, they didn't have a home for 2 years, but they sold a vision to recruits that they bought in. Then you build an immaculate baseball stadium, which I don't know how much Louisiana Tech baseball you've seen. The backdrop already was incredible. You've got the apartment complexes behind center and left field. That's already been one of the most unique things in college baseball. And then you add, arguably, at this level, the best G5 stadium in the country. Now, listen, it's not the box. As far as inside the stadium, maybe 2,000, 2,200 people. But outside, man, it's limitless. And the scene last year for the conference tournament and the NCAA tournament was amazing. And despite it being cold, I expect the same thing tonight. So it really has been the perfect storm. You had the program on the rise. Then you had the tornado, and you have the ability to build something you never would have been able to do. I think you're going to be really impressed with what you see tonight.
What's the fan base like? What will tonight be like? Will it be purple and gold with red and blue, or will it be dominant red and blue?
I don't know how LSU fans had a chance to get tickets. I mean, this thing has been sold out for weeks, and mostly by season ticket holders got most of the opportunity to get the tickets. Now, when they pan to the outfield, do I expect to see purple and gold? We should. Yeah. I mean, it'd be a crime if we didn't see purple and gold. I mean, how many people in Northeast Louisiana, granted, anybody can go drive down to the box, but how many opportunities do you get to see LSU here in your backyard, whether it's Shreveport, Ruston, or Monroe? So I do think you'll see purple and gold. Do I think it'll be anywhere close to 50-50? I'd be lying to you. It may be 70-30, 80-20.
Is that turf? Is that natural grass? That's a beautiful facility.
It's all turf.
Golly,
all turf.
That thing's beautiful.
Here's the thing at this level, and I think a lot of people who are baseball fans, you hate turf, but you have to remember, at this level, man, they don't have grounds crews. Mm-hmm. So this limits your team, your coaches having to work on the field, and it's just become the thing. And I've grown to really like it. It's as far as at this level, the G5/mid-major, I dare you to find a better ballpark.
You've talked to Jay Johnson a couple of times on your show, and we're talking to Sean Fox of 97.7 up in Monroe. He'll be live
today. In the cold.
He'll be live. He'll be live this afternoon at 3:00 from the ballpark. What are your impressions of Johnson? What did you make of what LSU did on opening weekend? Granted, it was versus Maine, but they knocked around 51 runs.
Gorilla ball. We might see more of that tonight with the wind blowing out. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, you knew what you were going to get in the 3 All-Americans, but it was the rest of the team that delivered. I don't want to say he's completely buttoned up because you could get Coach Johnson a little loose. I think, Jordy, you've had the opportunity to talk to him, but he's about that business. And look what he did at Arizona. He gets the opportunity now to come to the job in college baseball, and I think he's going to deliver. In fact, I think he's going to deliver a championship sooner than later. I mean, could it happen this year? Maybe, but I think there was all kinds of speculation of who it could be, and there's been some great names out there, but I actually think they landed on the right guy for the job. He understands the magnitude of LSU baseball, and I think he's going to deliver. Will he deliver more championships than Paul Maneri? Man, I don't know, but I do suspect he'll get one, and I do suspect he'll get one very, very soon.
J.C. Love Field tonight, 6:00 for the first pitch. Give me some names to watch out for from Louisiana Tech. I know they've got a really impressive infielder in Cole McConnell, but as far as the pitching staff goes, who do you expect to see tonight?
So it looks like Cade Gibson is going to get the start tonight. And here's the real interesting story, Jordy. He's a Ruston High kid. So he grew up in Ruston, but he actually started at LSU Shreveport. And last year, his very first game he ever pitches, Ole Miss. Dang. Midweek, number 4 team in the country. Tech wins 13-1. He goes 7 innings. So he gets the opportunity to live another dream tonight and pitch against LSU in a midweek game in Ruston.
Program killer.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Phil Matulia, left fielder. He's probably the most popular player on the team. Got the long hair. He's not built like Thor, but I just call him Skinny Thor. He's got the beard. He's got the long hair. Pretty much looks like your average baseball player now. They all kind of got a similar look. Here's an interesting story, Jordy. Y'all will appreciate this. There's 2 players who have been accepted to medical school that have bypassed it the last 2 years. Cade Gibson and Steele Netterville. Cade's going to be a cardiologist probably. Both have put off careers in medicine to play for this baseball team, and both happen to be really good. Steele Netterville has been a staple for this team. George Corona, the catcher, clutch, and then Taylor Young, who's been at second base, tells you how talented this young man is. He hasn't played shortstop yet. He's been a full-time second baseman till this year. He has been moved to shortstop, and the season hadn't even started. He was ranked the 11th best shortstop in the country by Baseball America. So there's 6 or 7 guys who started or saw significant time last year back in this lineup.
That's the most Louisiana Tech thing ever. It's like, I'm going up there. I'm very smart, but I also want to play baseball.
Well, I got to Louisiana Tech and graduated, so I don't know if that necessarily says anything about the education.
Dr. Sean Fox with us here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Foxy, tell everybody how good Trey Holly is.
Best running back in the state the last 2 years, regardless of classification. How about that?
Yeah. Better than Citizen and Moss even this past season.
Who?
Trevante Citizen and Le'Veon
No,
Moss?
no. I know who you're saying, but who? No. Jordy. Granted, I'm biased. I have no ties to Union Parish except they're on our station, so I do the games and I like one. Right? I didn't go to Union Parish. I'm not from Union Parish. Hell, I'm a Mandeville kid, right? I'm from the North Shore. This kid has been playing and starting since the 8th grade.
Damn.
And you can, at the varsity level, and you can do that because apparently if you're under the junior highs under the same roof of the high school that you can play.
Yeah. And
he has been a beast since the 8th grade. I'm going to point you to 2021. Or 2020, excuse me, that season. I want you to go pull up his stats. And that was the year that he led the country. Here's the interesting thing about this game, about Trey. They played 15 games because they played the state championship, got beat unmercifully by a very, very good Madison Prep team and your boy Wiggins. But leading into that game, you look at his stats. Jordy, they played 15. He probably played 7 or 8 full games. If you add, he did that in almost a half a season. This year, he put up the numbers he put up, and they had another 1,000-yard tailback on the roster, and he sat out a game and a half due to injury. The kid, he's a good kid. He's a smart kid. He's not going to be a problem to get into school. He just has that it factor. He is the perfect blend of speed and power, pound for pound. He is the strongest kid on the team. And I've had the opportunity growing up and then covering people up here. I saw Manning play in high school, all of them. Brock Berlin, Randall Mackey, Reuben Randall, Charles Scott. I've seen some good ones. This kid may be the best player at the high school level I've seen.
So his sophomore year is the year that you were talking about?
Correct.
He had
go ahead.
283 carries, 2,709 yards, 9.6 yards a carry, 225.8 yards a game.
Jesus.
His longest rush was 99 yards. He had 12 games of 100-plus yards and 44 touchdowns.
Gosh.
It's like NCAA when you make a player.
I mean,
9.7 yards a carry on 250 carries. That's incredible.
That's amazing.
And you can see, and people say, well, what's the skill level? Well, it's 3A, but the Union plays up. That 99-yard touchdown run was against 5A Ouachita, where he ran for 300.
Jeez.
Damn.
Okay.
LSU in the leading spot? He's coming down March 5th.
They're in there. Well, I've talked very, very briefly with Trey during the season about recruiting, and I think LSU obviously is going to be in a great spot. I mean, actually, here's the real interesting thing, and this kind of goes back to how you started talking about Arkansas. Union Parish is kind of on the line, and he actually plays 7-on-7. You'd think he'd play for Bootleggers North, but he doesn't. He actually plays for a Arkansas 7-on-7 team, and I think Arkansas's got a decent chance. And I know he really enjoyed his visit to Florida State, but if I was putting money on it right now, obviously I'd put a lot on it being on LSU.
Nice. What's the temperature of LSU now with Brian Kelly leading the program up there in North Louisiana? I know it's always kind of a prerequisite of the job to make sure that you're in good standing in that part of the state. Where does Brian Kelly sit, and is there any ground that he needs to be made up with Frank Wilson now on staff?
Don't we need to have him talk to the media first? Isn't that the big scuttlebutt? Everybody's butt hurt because he hasn't said anything yet.
Yeah, and to troll us, he split it up over 2 days, which I love.
I love it. Next thing he's going to be dancing on a podium for recruits. I don't know. Anytime you have a coaching change, there's excitement. And I think there may have been some people who are like, he doesn't fit.
Yeah.
But I think we've kind of convinced people since then. Since when does that really matter? And I think the most impressive thing that I have seen that he's done is and Jordy, we've talked about this on my show. I think it really is a great blend of guys that he's comfortable with, but also realizing, man, it's a different animal down here. And I got to get some people who are not only comfortable with recruiting the South, but recruiting Louisiana is a completely different animal. And then on top of that, and we all know this, recruiting New Orleans is a completely different animal. And I think he's got a great balance of guys who know him, who know the state, and know how to recruit New Orleans. And obviously, when you get Frank Wilson, he's one of the best ever that has recruited the state of Louisiana. I think Sherman Wilson was a great hire. Obviously, we're familiar with J.R. Belton. And, look, I've known Joe Sloan for a while. Great guy. And I thought that was an excellent pickup. So I like what he's done. Now, does this mean I think LSU is going to be in the national title hunt next year? Absolutely not. But, you know, Jordy, you and I, again, we've discussed this. I was thinking, I don't know, man, 6-6, 7-5 year one. But I am getting more cautiously optimistic with all the things I've seen him do recently. Now, does that mean the high water mark is probably still for me 8 wins? Yeah, but I do think Brian Kelly, much like Jay Johnson, is going to at least maybe not win a championship, but I think he's going to have LSU in the playoffs sooner rather than later.
Speaking of Coach Jay Johnson, he will be on Sean Fox Sports Talk today, which you can catch on 97.7 up in North Louisiana. You can also find it online and listen there virtually at sportstalk977.com. He'll have Jay Johnson on at 3:45. He will have the head coach of Louisiana Tech baseball, Lane Burroughs, on at 3:30. So a jam-packed show today for Foxy coming up this afternoon. He is another partner of Relief Med, just like us down here in South Louisiana. Relief Med, he's pushing the message up there in North Louisiana for
I need
for
to
our
get through
friends.
tonight, Jordy, with this weather, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy, bro. Make
Stay
sure
warm.
and stop in and get you a new pickup, Foxy. Enjoy the afternoon, buddy. Thank you for the information, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
And Jordy Culotta Thursdays, every Thursday, 3:30. Appreciate y'all. Cult of Culotta, appreciate talking to y'all too. So.
Later, buddy. Later, buddy.
Like,
Arkansas South there. Our guy, Sean Fox.
He's great.
You can catch him on 97.7, that conversation. Brought to you by Relief Med, our friends over at Relief Med. Remember, you can use the promo code Jordy1. It's just Jordy1 to receive 20% off of your first purchase over at Relief Med. They got some new products in over the last couple of days. So if you're looking to get in over to Relief Med, if you've not already gotten your recommendation, you can do that by logging online to RELEAFmed.com. All you got to do is click on the link right there. You'll be in front of a virtual doctor. Get your recommendation. You can go down with the list of issues that you may have that can be compliant with Relief Med. But whether it's the weather, whether it's LSU baseball, whether it's LSU basketball that you're looking to try and help you and soothe yourself with, whether it's gummies or flour or tinctures or
Or you just want to see this doctor.
There's our
if you're just going to meet our guy,
Guy with
ask
the
him about how he
burns.
got the sideburns.
Which part is which?
Is your beard that color too?
And we'll find out.
I think a big tip point is that the eyebrows. The eyebrows are usually a tipping point on
But they
what the
seem
true
to-
color is.
They seem to match
Well,
the
your
hair
eyebrows
more
are
than
dark.
the eyebrows.
You have his hair and his eyebrows, Jordy,
Is that you?
right? You do.
I wish I had that hair.
But I mean, you have his hair color
He's got a great head of hair.
and then his eyebrow color.
Even though I
right?
think he's got a toupee.
I don't
on
know
think it's a
what's
toupee.
going
Y'all,
on.
that's not a
It
toupee.
I think that, I mean, like,
Look
that
at-
is a
look at, like,
very
look at the front of it.
aggressive.
That's not a toupee.
Look at the front of it.
I
I'm
mean,
looking at it.
I can already see him right now
No.
with like the 3/4
It looks
look.
like the sideburns are like taped on.
The,
Those
the
those
sideburns
were
are just a
fake.
different color. That's what we're talking about. Like
I
they match
know.
the eyebrows and obviously probably the beard.
I don't know.
He does have that smirky smile though. Like,
He does.
I
That's
bet you like my hair.
yeah. That's a guy with a full head of hair right there, right?
It is.
Smug as
Sorry to
hell.
tell
Look
you.
like
Yeah,
you're lying
right.
to you.
Smug as hell. We spent so much time talking about the stock photo of this guy. Like,
Joke's on you.
I mean, if I'm zooming into Relief Med, I'm saying I want the guy on the website.
I need the
Dr.
guy on
John.
that.
that's amazing.
All right, get over to Relief Med.
This is
Pick
the
up,
man I was promised.
pick up
You
your
don't look like
medical
the guy on the
marijuana.
website.
Yeah.
Get your medical marijuana recommendation and pick up your heat.
I was
at,
spreading that around at lunch
Jordy
yesterday.
won. Jordy won the promo code.
Yes, and there were already a couple of people that were already making their visits to,
wow,
to
look at
the
the country club
pharmacy.
crew.
I was very
Right.
surprised.
I'm
that
sure
my-
they go and they drop
My
the kids
friends.
off, and then they're like, "Oh, I
Gotta
gotta,
keep
I
their
gotta run
hat-
some errands."
I love being in there and seeing that person that just does not want
Wanna be
anybody to
seen.
see you. And they
Yes.
come in, they got the hat,
Sunglasses.
real
I saw someone with
low.
sunglasses.
No.
They gotta
there,
look up
yes.
at you like this when they see you. You know, like,
By,
Hey,
try-
Carol.
by
Hey,
trying
what's up,
to-
Carol?
yeah,
How are you?
yeah. Blazed?
You gonna be at baseball practice today? You
What
need me
time's
to
carpool?
You need me to pick up Ken?
Yeah. I'm just waiting for that doctor. Come every day.
Should try the popcorn version. Relief Med, the promo code is Jordy1. All right, mailbag questions. If you have mailbag questions, get them in. We will answer your mailbag questions next. We'll be back with more of the Jordy Culotta Show, brought and driven and powered to you every single day by Go Chevrolet.
I think there's a new Relief Med store opening
Oh,
in
really?
Lafayette, if I'm not mistaken. I think our boy Hold the Mayo is making a trip down
to Lafayette?
to go. Yeah, he's the brand.
Lloyd's
From New Orleans?
he's making an excuse to go back to Lafayette.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
all Lloyd's doing.
I'm not going.
It's a ploy.
Mayo's picking me up on his way through.
I'll make a run. I'll make a video.
Sure, man. I'll go.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Mind if we make one stop?
I can't do that watch
I think I
party
forgot
now.
my tie over at this house on Saturday night.
What you boys up to? Or my golf club.
Your mailbag questions next here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Get them in. Go Chevrolet is proud to announce Go Express Auto Sales, the new used car lot located in the capital city of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, at 11522 Florida Boulevard. Go Express Auto Sales is online at goexpressautosales.com, or you can search them on Facebook and social media at Go Express Auto Sales, the newest addition to the family of Go Chevrolet. Remember, Go Chevrolet is located down in Laplace, Louisiana, but now welcoming aboard Go Express, the new used car lot located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana at 11522 Florida Boulevard. True Blue Water, true hydration at its finest. Right now, you're only a few minutes away from getting your 5-gallon water delivered to you, just like we are over here at the UDL. All you got to do is log on to truebluewater.com. That's TRU bluewater.com. The website's fantastic over at truebluewater.com. You can get your service and find out how quick it is. You can schedule a delivery, even hop on the billing system right there at truebluewater.com. TRU bluewater.com.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you daily by Morales Roll-Offs. Morales Roll-Offs provides dumpster rentals for residential and commercial needs in Baton Rouge and surrounding areas. Morales has roll-off dumpsters ranging from 10 yards to 40 yards to accommodate all of your disposal needs. Search online, moralesrolloffs.com.
Christ, that right there is the mail. Now let's talk about the mail. Can we talk about the mail, please, Mac? I'm dying to talk about the mail with you all day, okay? I gotta go up to his office. I gotta put his mail in the guy's goddamn hands.
But they've been asking for their mail on a daily basis. It's all they're talking about up there.
Because the mail never stops. It just keeps coming and coming and coming. There's never a let up. It's relentless. Every day it piles up more and more and more, and you gotta get it up. And the more you get out, the more it keeps coming in. And then the barcode reader breaks, and it's Publishers Clearinghouse. All right.
I can't believe I'm going to be a mailman.
Welcome back here. Mail time here for the Jordy Culotta Show. Your mailbag questions answered every Wednesday right here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Jump inside of the chat app. You can mail your questions in a lot of different ways, but the easiest way to do it, just jump inside YouTube and ask your questions. Stewie, what we got?
SEC Mike on Twitter. How long do you think it will take Brian Kelly to lead LSU to an appearance in the SEC championship game?
3 years.
3 years would be awesome. 3 years is usually the turnaround that you find to have, success for coaches. That's usually the point where they're able to implement their style, bring in a couple of recruiting classes, recruit to the player that they want. 3 years would make sense. I still think that they're a little bit behind the wall as far as the roster goes, that they need to overcome some things to get to a competitive place pretty quick. So I would say 4 years, 3 years, 4 years makes sense. I mean, a couple of recruiting cycles for Brian Kelly. In my opinion, he should be playing for championships. I mean, I'm like Foxy. 2 months ago, Sean Fox, who was just here from 97.7 up in Monroe, we were talking a little bit about LSU football. We were talking about Trey Holly, the running back from up in Union Parish, who's the number one running back in the state, an absolute must-have for LSU. 2 months ago, you were like, LSU might be 500. They might have another, they might have another rough season. But the more that they're able to put guys together. They still have a couple of scholarships to play with after spring ball. Frank Wilson's leading the charge in recruiting. You know, Brian Kelly's really had from all we've heard, a really successful spring run in getting to know and build relationships with people throughout the recruiting base of LSU, whether it be in Houston or, you know, Louisiana or parts of Texas, wherever it may be. I mean, there's been a lot of good return on what Brian Kelly is doing. So I think, you know, they have the right people in place. Foxy was talking about J.R. Belton, John Belton, who was a former West Monroe superstar. He was a West Monroe quarterback up there. He's a North Louisiana legend.
Great guy.
Great guy. An absolute great human being just to have a part of any program, whether it's your football program or whether it's your legal practice. It doesn't matter, whatever business, you know, good people. There was only 6 carryovers from Ed Ogeron's football staff, from the football building. There were only 6 carryovers, and J.R. Belton was one of them. And, you know, one of the things that I've heard about that part of the process was that they were looking for the right people at every single position. And not to say that people were there before, worked there, it just was a turnover. And it was time to find new people and new faces. And Kelly has done that from all accounts, and what I've been told, like, really good. I mean, all the people seem to have buy-in. There's none of the stuff that they've dealt with in the years past. I mean, just talking to a couple of these 1, 2 of the 7 that made it through. So it's just so different up there. Everybody's accountable. There's no drama. There's no people talking about, you know, there's no office work gossip like there was the past couple of years. I mean, things are heading in the right direction from all accounts of LSU football. I know a compliance report came out earlier this week with some personnel changes in compliance, and I think that those have been happening behind the scenes. But now you're starting to see personnel and departments that are all, what's Woodward's line? What's Woodward's
alignment?
That's his deal, alignment. And it sounds like everybody is really becoming aligned with the vision of what LSU is trying to accomplish within the athletic department. And I mean, when you look at the coaches alone, Mulkey, Johnson, Kelly, Tarina, Wade, you know what I mean? You're talking about high-end, championship-level winning coaches, and I think Brian Kelly fits that mold, and I'd say 3 years he's playing for a title, or he should be competitive for a title in 3 years.
Mark Cumby on Twitter. What transfer portal signee will have the biggest impact on the 2022 season? Pick one on offense and one from defense.
Oof.
Greg Brooks from Arkansas.
Definitely one of those DBs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Greg Brooks fits the mold. Joe Fauché, some of those guys that have been brought in to play in that back end. To me, I think LSU's front 7 is championship ready.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that their defensive line's got great depth. They've got pros. I even think on the second level, when you add, a recruit like Harold Perkins alongside a guy like Mike Jones and some of the things and some of the people that are coming back on that level, there's a lot of question marks on the back end. So I would take a Greg Brooks, Joe Fauché, somebody like that. From a defensive standpoint. On the offense, it's got to be one of these offensive linemen. I'd say Miles Frazier, because it seems like he's the one that came in with the most accolades or the most ready-to-play sense and style of guys that they brought in. It's definitely one of these offensive linemen, because the same way that I feel about the front 7 on defense, I feel about the skill position on LSU's offense. I love their wide receivers. I think that, there's going to have to be some guys that take that next step in their career. Brian Thomas, Chris Hilton needs to catch his feet as far as, college football goes, and really should have a breakout type season where he's just on the field a lot more than he was last year. Neighbors and Besh look like they're set to go. I mean, I think that the wide receiver group, all in all, is going to be good. You miss some guys in the recruiting cycle that you'd have loved to have, this past season, but you missed, and you just move on, but you're really good there. And then the running back room, I think, is NFL ready. I think that's an NFL room when you talk about John Emery. You talk about those 2 guys last year that are now in the sophomore class, and Corey Kiner and damn it.
Monty Goodwin.
Damn it. I don't know.
He's the forgotten guy.
I love him.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah,
I mean,
you were
when
high
he's
on him
right,
too.
I
Yeah.
really do.
When he's right, he's a player, but like.
And then Noah Kane, I think that's an NFL running back room. I really do. I think that they're fine at running back. I think they're fine at wide receiver. They need to have two of these offensive linemen that transferred in be dudes. And the first one I would say probably is going to be that would be Miles Frazier. I mean, he's probably going to be the left tackle.
Yeah, I think he has the most upside. Out of all the transfer
and then that
linemen.
helps you with like bringing Will Campbell along at a correct speed. I love Will Campbell. I can't wait to see Will Campbell play football in the SEC. I don't want to start Will Campbell at left tackle his freshman season and potentially, I think he's too mentally strong to really kind of mess him up. But a couple of defensive ends in the SEC West can screw you up as a freshman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You go block Alabama, you go block, Arkansas, Ole Miss, or you go block Florida for a weekend, and, next thing you know, your confidence is shattered. And not that I think that can happen to Campbell, because that cat is a lion in the jungle, bro. I mean, that cat he's an absolute mauler. But I'd love to see him, kind of cut his teeth at right tackle in college football and really kind of understand the speed and the everything that goes into it. Then when he's ready, put him on the island and let him block. I mean, but if you've got somebody that can help that and kind of ease that transition, man, now you're talking about you're building some depth on a unit that you got to have it.
Does Miles Brennan count as a transfer portal?
Sure, why
guy?
not? Sure, why not?
What about the Wingo guy from
Trey
Missouri?
Wingo? Is that it?
No, it's
Trey
no.
Wingo.
You're thinking of ESPN.
ESPN.
You're thinking of
Makai Wingo.
Makai Wingo.
Makai?
Sorry,
He's a
sorry.
defensive lineman, right?
Defensive lineman from Missouri.
Yeah.
Right. I think
Yeah,
he could have an impact.
It definitely will. You know what I mean? But I think that defensive line room is so solid, and it's so sturdy up top. I mean, like the starters, and now Mingo just becomes really a key piece of depth.
Yeah, it could be like a 3-man rotation.
Absolutely.
Trey Holly just liked our tweet. Watch out.
Hello.
Give him a little love. Give him a
cold
little
Slide
call.
those DMs and see if we can't call him.
What you doing? You in class?
An interview? You open? What's the
up?
number?
What's up?
What you got, Stewie?
Next question. Sorry.
Everybody's on Twitter.
Hey, Trey, how are you?
I want to check on Trey.
Trying to get your number, Trey.
Right. Captain
We will
Crown
follow
on
you
Twitter.
back.
Breakout true freshman next season.
Breakout true freshman next season. Harold Perkins feels like the easy
Yeah,
one.
that's the easy answer. Do another. Do that.
Yeah.
Next.
Another guy.
True freshman breakout player next season is going to be Emory Jones. Is going to be Will Campbell. Is that too boring?
I think Emory Jones. I like Emory Jones.
I think Emory Jones is going to be.
He's gonna play.
I think he's going to start against Florida State.
He has that nastiness
he's a
that
killer.
you want from an offensive lineman.
I
Like
watched
that
him.
just-
I watched him play twice this year, and
Yeah.
he's the biggest, baddest dude on the
Yeah,
field.
I watched him play against Woodlawn, and it was he was giving their defensive lineman fits.
I mean, Jesuit defensive end was running away from him at the end of the game. I mean, he just didn't want. I'm
No
done,
parts.
bro. I'm done. I'm
Like,
done with you. I'm done with you.
He
And
tried to block one of the kids to the bus.
No, he will try to kill your spirit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He tries to. I mean, I saw a look on a kid's face early in this. I saw them play against. I saw him play in the state championship game against Jesuit, and then I saw him play against Warren Easton in Memorial Stadium, like in the midseason, in the middle of the season. And he put this kid from Warren Easton on the sideline from like the right. The ball was like on the right hash, and he drove him to the opposite sideline. You know, like to
he
the
did the
whistle.
blindside move.
The blindside, and just mauling him. You know, what I mean, the kid was on roller skates.
But this is every game for
hands
him,
in the
like-
air, and I'm talking Warren Easton, coach. This isn't.
Ain't no puppies.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. Like this, he's not playing a 1A school. I mean, he's playing a couple of SEC defensive type players, and he's manhandling them. I mean, he is. They're on roller skates. I mean, there aren't I've got no control. I can't stop myself. I can't run. Emory Jones, I think, is going to be. He might be the best offensive line in the class. He might be the best offensive lineman in the class, and Will Campbell is. You know, I mean, their offensive line group with those two as the headliners in that class are two pros and 2 3 to 4 year starters for you. I mean, they'll, in my opinion, Emory Jones and Will Campbell will be at SEC Media Days in 2 years representing LSU.
So it'd be Will Campbell,
I'd take Emory
Jones, and Walker Howard in 3 years.
3 years, yeah. Maybe Quincy.
I mean, they have to send Walker Howard and Jack Besh together.
Oof,
Oh, no, nah, coach.
we got a brand to protect. I don't know if they'll do that. I'm serious. I don't know.
Do their interviews in
I
tandem.
mean, Bash just kind of fastly becoming the guy like, hey bro,
just
throw him the ball.
don't slowly walk.
Just
so
get him the
quickly.
ball.
Yeah, Walker. You know, if you go through this door, you can be here. It's he's telling him all the secrets already.
Donald Pops.
Donald Pospisil?
Popsicle?
You know him?
That's my guy, Big Don.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Used to throw submarine when we were 12. Dude would bring it from the dirt. Yeah.
That's different.
Wow.
Saints draft strategy this year.
Oof.
Oof.
Like I asked Fletcher yesterday, Jeff Ireland's done a great job in the personnel department. I mean, they've done such a good job there. I mean, they need a lot. Wide receiver?
Yeah.
I would go
wide
receiver.
You can't go quarterback. Donald, I'm glad you're alive. He fell in the ditch at Lafayette. The way he's like, I was completely submerged. And we went and checked the next day, and the water's about 2 inches deep, and he fell in face first. And then he had to go to his hotel and took off all of his clothes except for his underwear and walked in like that, threw his clothes away. We went and checked the next day. There was just beer still in the ditch and his beads that he left over. And he was like, I thought I was going to die. And we're like, Donald, it was not even ankle deep. So glad you're out there, Donald. Glad you're alive.
That's so good.
This is the first you've heard from him?
That's it. Well, I saw him Saturday and said that we were all together. And yeah, he just ended up at
That's awesome.
the Uber was like, take your clothes off and get in this car.
That's awesome. So Drake London for wide receiver, is he like the number 1 pick for Saints? The USC guy.
Oh, I don't.
Drake London tore his ACL last year. Like he was out like midway through the season. But he is one of
Is
the
it a good
top-
wide receiver class this year? Is it good wide receiver draft
That
class?
Alabama cat, Jamison Williams, might fall to
Kayshawn would be one in this class.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
And then there's the Ohio State cats that are both out there.
Well, yeah.
Chris Olave.
Chris Olave and
Olave. And Ohio State.
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson's probably the best in the class. And then
Yeah, he won't be available.
Then you go the guy from USC, Drake.
What about Treylon Burks?
Treylon Burks they said Treylon Burks is like, he probably has the most upside out of all the receivers in this class because of his size and his speed.
Yeah.
Look what he did at Arkansas.
Absolutely.
They didn't really have, they were kind of figuring it out at quarterback all year. They're like, well, just get it to Treylon.
Throw it to Treylon.
Yeah, he will change. He's a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. He was. I mean, that Texas A&M game in Dallas.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was
dude. He put on a show. He put on a show
Get
that
you drafted.
day. That was a get
I
drafted
was
game.
going to say, that was his get drafted
That was a
game.
get draft game.
Patron Berto on
Hey.
Twitter.
Hey,
Patron.
National Margarita Day yesterday.
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah. Somebody in the chat asked if we partook.
Oh.
I did not
I
partake.
drank tequila.
That counts.
Yeah.
It counts.
I still have some margaritas over from Modesto in the
You do?
freezer. Oh, yeah.
Here
at
in
this
this
guy.
freezer?
No, it was. Now it's in
come
my
on.
freezer.
Come on.
How much are the Bengals going to spend on offensive line this offseason?
How much
How much are the Bengals going to spend on offensive line this season?
on free
Like,
agency or
free agency
draft?
and draft
I mean,
picks.
All of them. All of it.
I know it's like that's, but I really would contemplate spending. If you have 7 draft picks, I would spend 5 on the offensive line.
Who?
And if I'm going in free agency, I would pay Teron Armstead. I mean, like if Teron Armstead's is he gonna be the biggest offensive lineman on the
I
market?
think Larry Tunsil is available also.
Okay, so you've got 2 name recognition offensive tackles in Tunsil and Armstead. They need to pay one of them. And then you can move Jonah Williams to the right, where you've now got who you thought was your franchise left tackle. Now you can, move him over to the right side and start to build the interior of it, because you are, from a front office standpoint, you've got to look at Burrow's hits the past 2 seasons and say, hey, we're going to David Carr this guy. Like, forget how good he is. Forget how tough he is. Cam Newton was a tough son of a bitch. I mean, that cat was big, strong, fast, and the toughest dude on every field. He took more shots to the chin as a quarterback than I've ever seen, and just get right back up, flip the guy the ball, and just move on with his day. But ultimately, Cam broke down. I never thought I would see Cam get to a point where he ran out of bounds, or he slid, or he didn't take the shot, or he didn't try to make the play. But his body got to a point where it was like, man, I can't go through another week where I'm not getting out of bed until Thursday. You know what I mean? That is what you're doing to Burrow. And I think that there was a little bit of that expected in the first part of it, where, look, you're going to draft this franchise quarterback and you're going to put him behind a real shoddy offensive line. Let's just make sure and not lose him early. Not lose him to some catastrophic lifetime injury where he can't play football again because he's behind a group that just they can't match up with the defensive lineman. They can't keep him out of the backfield.
I mean, you saw how they lost the Super Bowl.
That's how bad it is. Like it's bad, like to the point where
it's dangerous.
you're looking for they were looking for bodies.
Yeah.
They were looking for people just to kind of like be a fence and just be a barrier between Burrow and Aaron Donald. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you got to get somebody that can square up. I mean, they don't have anybody that looks like Posick.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, nobody is as mean and as physical and as aggressive as that cat is. And, you know, you don't
He's a
even
free agent.
and you really don't even hear about Posick.
No.
You know, like,
That's a good thing, though. As a lineman,
yeah, absolutely.
they say you don't
You're right.
hear about me.
You're right.
That's a good thing.
You're right. You're right. You're right. I hope Posick gets paid. He would be a great fit.
Yeah, he was.
Seemed very confident.
Don't they have a center? Doesn't Cincinnati have like a good center?
I think their center is good, but I don't know what his name is.
It's hard. I'm hard pressed to call anybody good on that
I agree.
Cincinnati offensive line.
Ryan Jensen is a free agent too from the Bucks.
Payne. I mean,
Is that the guy with the curly hair?
build the from a free agent standpoint.
The nasty
I would sign the top 3 agent offensive linemen at separate positions. I'd sign the number 1 center, I'd sign the number 1 tackle, and I'd sign the number 1 guard. If I had the capital, if I had the cap power to do that. I mean, look what he did with you. Look what he did for you behind us.
Yeah.
I mean, he had us blocking for him, and he took you to the Super Bowl. Getting 2 players up there, and you might have a dynasty.
So hard to get back.
The Saints question, back to the Saints question about the draft. Daniel Jeremiah, who's one of the top draft analysts, has the Saints taking Kenny Pickett.
The quarterback stuff.
Quarterback stuff is
killer. Dude, I don't believe in them taking quarterbacks anymore because of, no Sean Payton. Like, I mean, I've taken them totally out of the Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes just because the ace card was that those cats would say, I want to play for Peyton. So I don't know how they evaluate the quarterback. I'm sure they're very smart in their evaluation in the quarterback over at the Saints now. I just don't know how they get there without Peyton's voice anymore, and wonder 1 year out, the first draft without Sean Payton, if somebody steps up and says, let's take a quarterback. You know, I mean, because there's areas of need, and I think if you re-sign Jameis, you're competitive.
Yeah,
you can win with it. You can win with him.
I don't think any of these quarterbacks are good enough to really. I don't want to say waste, but to use a first round pick
100%
on a quarterback
agree.
that isn't probably.
They've got
play.
too many needs
yes.
on a very solid roster where you can sign a quarterback like Jameis, who knows your system and is familiar with what you're doing, and to me be
adequate.
Not adequate. I think they could be competitive.
Yeah.
Like, I think that they could. The NFC South's up for grabs, and then, get into the tournament and see what happens.
I guess since it is up for grabs, I guess there is another school of thought. We're like, all right, if everybody's kind of restarting, we can restart with a new quarterback and kind of usher in a new era with a new head coach. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if this is the draft class where I really want to take that leap.
You can't restart
quarterback.
You can't restart a franchise with any quarterback in this draft.
No way.
No way.
I mean, and what's funny is somebody will pop. Somebody's going to be, obviously, one of these guys is going to be a dude.
You know who I think it's going to be? Malik Willis.
I was about to say Malik Willis. He has the most upside. He's probably going to be the one that holds up the longest. And, I mean,
you know I saw loves him? Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
That'd be a good fit.
That would be a great
fit. He signed with Auburn, and then he transferred from Auburn and went and played for Hugh Freeze at Liberty the last 2 years. And has put up really good numbers.
He shined in the
Ole Miss game.
And in the Senior Bowl also. He was the guy that everybody was looking at, and they interviewed him on the sidelines. And
but more than anything, physically.
Yeah, he's gifted.
That's big. That's who Daniel Jeremiah has Pittsburgh taken. It's Malik Willis.
Really?
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Oh, got a lot more.
One fucking job over there.
Hey.
Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger.
Blaine on Instagram. Over under 2.5 college football playoff appearances for Brian Kelly in 7 years.
Well, I think when he cracks it, he'll get there.
Yeah.
I think when he cracks, he just needs to find the formula, find the right players, find how to recruit, find the message. And I think once he finds that footing, he'll make LSU. LSU is a giant. We all know that. I mean, it's not sleeping anymore. It's an absolute monster. And with the right guy in charge, we've never seen this place with an extended time of the right guy in charge. Ever. You've seen at times they had the right guy, and the guy was so good when he was right that he was able to lay the blueprint out for the next couple of years to really get the success early on for the guy that followed him up in Miles, right? And Orgeron had just this perfect mixture of players and coaches and team for one season, really 2 years with Burrow in 18 and 19. That was a magical run. It wasn't an extended amount of time. But now with Brian Kelly, I really do feel like you've got the right leader, the right guy in place who can sustain success at LSU. And that has to be a scary scenario for the rest of the competition because they all know that LSU can win it in any given year because you could just look up and they could have 27 pros, 16 pros, draft picks like they had one year. But if they get the right guy and they figure out the formula of recruiting and protecting the state, this NIL stuff, they're successful in the transfer portal, and they got players every single year. Every year, they're just reloading, depth chart stacked, 4- and 5-star guys. As soon as somebody gets drafted, the next guy steps up as an All-American. Remember when LSU was on that cycle?
Yeah.
Where it was just year after year after year after year, you had name after name after name after name. Right? But you didn't have the coach, the right guy leading those guys, leading those groups. Now, if you can put that formula where you got the players and you have 10 years of the same message with the right guy in Brian Kelly, I think LSU should be a year in, year out playoff contender with just the resources, the recruiting ground, who they are. I mean, they should be every 3 years, they should be in the playoff.
And look who he gets to start with Walker Howard. Like that's his first quarterback you get. Probably.
That's why he's dancing on the podium, bro. Like, you ain't going nowhere. What do I need to do?
Next question is from Fear the Hat on Instagram. How much longer until Joey B's 9 is retired?
We wonder that too. We ask that all the time.
It's way past due.
Nobody will wear it.
What are you waiting? Well, as long as Stringfellow's there before it's retired officially, nobody will wear it. But I mean,
where do you put that thing?
Make it official.
No. Make a statue.
What do you mean? Put it.
No, I'm talking about Stringfellow. I mean, I'm sure the jersey is available. Like it's out, or does he like even take it off the rack?
I think 9's off the market. Like nobody can even choose it. I mean,
it has to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. In recruiting, when people come in there and they ask for it's like asking for 20.
Right.
We don't offer it.
Yeah. Do you know where you are?
Yeah. Well, you don't offer it there. But I can't believe that his statue and or his number and name have not been memorialized inside of Tiger Stadium or somewhere. I mean, it's just.
But you can believe it because it takes forever to get that done around here, right?
Yeah, I guess I can, but this is so easy and so it's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, like why
wait?
Why wait? Or I guess they're trying to take advantage of a weekend where you can really promote him.
Yeah.
Bring him down, bring the family down, almost turn it into like a Thursday night you got something, Friday night you got something, and the Saturday's the announcement and the retirement, and then there's a good send off. But I don't know if that's something that they're waiting on or it's just they've drugged their feet up to this point because it seems like I thought that it would have been done within the first 2 years of him being gone. I thought that it would have been done almost like you could have brought him back his rookie year. You know what I mean? And it just exploded.
I mean, we were wondering.
But I guess it was a COVID year. Nobody was in the stadium. So I get why you don't take advantage of it there.
But I was talking about this year.
Yeah.
Like, I thought maybe Auburn game, we were trying to like align the pieces for him to come back for an 8 o'clock game, Auburn at night. But it would have been electric. But it kind of
wasn't at his bye week too.
Right. I think there was something where they played on Thursday, I think. So it would have worked out for him to be able to get to Louisiana. But it might be they might kick the can down the road for and do a 10-year reunion for the 2019 team, bring everybody back, and then you kind of unveiled that, I would imagine, because it's going to take a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By that time, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Or in a wheelchair.
So I was asking,
relax.
Like Jimmy, like if he ever a lot of guys come down to LSU in the offseason and work out, right? I mean, you can go to LSU in the offseason on a June or July day, man, and you can see a friggin' all-pro team walking out.
That's what I was surprised by yesterday with Pochik. Like he was saying he works out at Traction. Like why doesn't he work out at LSU? I wanted to ask him that.
I don't know the dynamic now. Now that Moffitt's not there. Moffitt was always always the common denominator that brought everybody back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like because he had coached. I mean, he coached Corey Webster.
Yeah.
To Ethan Posick. I mean, he coached everybody. So I don't know what the new but I don't know why you would mess with that because it's so good for recruiting.
True.
To have, just
guys
Devin White
around.
hanging around the building.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, you saw Leonard.
Yeah. And that was the first time Leonard had been back.
Really?
Since he is
went to the
Since
NFL.
Since he left. So that was, that was a groundbreaking day as far as just LSU, the future, and his relationship. I mean, that's a biggest recruiting program history, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking about a little bit about this yesterday, kind of post-production meeting, I guess. We were like must-gets, guys that LSU just had to have. Like Patrick Peterson's on that list. Just like timing kind of worked out to where you have to go get Patrick Peterson. Like you need to almost stay relevant. Leonard Fournette is number one on that list of, everybody that if you even think that you like LSU football, everybody.
I don't think people know how close you were to losing him the night before.
I know he was like.
No, I think they lost him for a minute. Like it was
to Alabama.
Yes. I mean,
could you imagine?
Big bag.
No. Big bag.
Big bag.
Make everybody ears perk up.
We're just like,
I don't care where you're from.
We can't not listen to this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is the NFL right now.
What are we going to do here?
Yeah. The University of, the boot, baby. The boot. I'm sorry.
Chill out. Pretty clear?
Very good.
All right. University of LSU. We're going there. All right. Boot up.
Boot, baby.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what the offseason strategy is, but I can't imagine that they would mess with that. I mean, you want those cats hanging out in the building. But I asked Jimmy, does Joe ever make it back? And he says, you know what? He goes to Ohio State where he's just a dude. Where he's just
a legend.
No, he's not a legend.
He's a dude.
No, he's just,
it's just normal. He's just Joe.
He just kind of flows in.
Yeah.
Down here,
it would be a
anytime he shows up,
fucking cameras everywhere.
He's got a caravan. He's got police escort.
Like, does he
I don't think he goes to games,
anything?
but that's where he kind of goes and works out. He
Really?
can just kind of sneak
and
off.
They just don't care. They're just like,
I
whatever.
mean, he went there. So it's like
know,
they know
but,
him.
like,
They want Joe Burrow
they're
working
not.
out there.
Well, yeah.
They're like, oh, Joe Burrow's here.
But
They
they're
might sell
not,
that.
they're not
Retire
like
nine.
fans like we are here. If he were to come here and work
Well, no,
out,
because they don't have he doesn't have the accomplishments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The
That's
reason
weird,
why
right?
the reason why he walks on water here is because he took the
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's not gonna lose a game. I mean, he's incredible. So I think that from an Ohio State standpoint, he's kind of like their son. He's kind of like their son.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he's an Ohio kid. He went to Ohio State. They probably kicked the shit out of themselves for letting him go.
Jeez, can you imagine?
So he's always got it, and he's always shown love to them.
Yeah,
you know what I
he
mean?
has.
Like somebody was asking me the other day, "What did you think about Burrow saying Athens?" I'm like, dude, are you kidding? Like, is that what you're worried about?
So we're back on the pregame
Yeah.
announcement.
I'm like, dude, I'm like,
Oh my
man,
God.
did he go to LSU? Well, yeah. I'm like, okay,
right,
well, who cares? I mean, don't worry. The
People
guy's
care.
prideful from where he's from. Awesome, aren't you? You know, I mean, it doesn't change that he went to LSU and won championship. He's still got the damn
wristband.
LSU
Yeah.
wristband on.
He wears it every week.
He wears it every single day. I mean,
Give
guy
it up.
loves LSU. He'll never forget his time at LSU. He's from Ohio. I mean, but I still think that it's way past due on the statue and the number.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, something.
Something would be
Just
nice.
give me a placeholder.
Right.
You know, if you're not going to retire it, just so it's known, we are going to retire Burrow's 9 and nobody's ever going to wear it. Okay, cool.
Did they retire it at Ohio State?
No.
You don't think so?
No way.
Just
Niner-
because of
was
who
he
he
Niner
is
or
now?
10 there?
He didn't even play.
He was 10.
He didn't even play.
Oh, he was 10 there?
He was number 10 now.
I don't even
Yeah.
play.
He was 10 in high school, too.
I don't even know
Okay.
if he played.
He played like a game, but it was against Rutgers.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the game, like
Right.
mop-up duty.
Yeah.
Hell of a spring game. Him and Dewey were going back and forth. If he
Yeah.
didn't, obviously people
was a
know this
close
is-
call,
yeah, if
man.
He didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
And you can see why Dewey wasn't bad, and Ohio State threw for 50 touchdowns. He got drafted, 5th overall to the, where are they, the Commanders?
The Commanders now.
And now he's in Pittsburgh, and they're already trying to get another quarterback for the Steelers. Obviously, we talked about Malik Willis. Maybe they draft him. So not as good of a pro, but I mean, obviously there was a competition there, and you looked at what Dewey Haskins did. It's like, damn, he threw 50 touchdowns, and I think they won 10 games. It really wasn't a terrible choice. But then Joe Burrow said, "Hold on, look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pants are undone."
Of course.
No, they're not. It's just swinging. Can't zip them up.
Can't wear shorts.
All right, I'm gonna ask Rico's questions from
Jesus.
the
we
chat.
go. Finally.
From Rico, he's living it up on me in the chat. Will Wade.
Oh, this is
Will Wade the college basketball Les Miles? Good recruiter, bad offense.
Look, we can debate that all day. I don't think so, Rico. I understand why you would believe so, and why there is definite concern about LSU's offense. Right? I mean, they get into some strategy where they just look very stagnant and lost. But Will Wade has accomplished and been successful with this basketball program in the first 5 years with his own groups and with his players and with his strategy and with his techniques. And, you know, in some basketball seasons, things don't work out. They need to be better offensively. And I think he understands that. And they'll make the improvements offensively to make sure that they can win the games that are costing them on the offensive end. But anytime you look up and you've got 2 5-stars in one class like LSU does next year, and Julian Phillips and Braden Traore or Johan Traore out of Arizona, you know, possibly another one with the Marvell Allen point guard. You want to win more games with those types of players. But I do not believe that he is. Les Miles had championship winning teams, national championship winning teams that were going 8-4, 9-3.
But he won 10 games.
I mean, Will Wade has been exposed on some areas of his offensive coaching, but all in all, he's a really good basketball coach. I mean, he's a lot better of a basketball coach than Les Miles is a football coach. And I really don't think that is
even
debatable.
Up for debate, right?
That's non-debatable. No. I mean,
look at
so you're telling me he's underachieving with this group, right? Like he's lost some games that you're like, how did you lose with that team? The season's not over. In my opinion, debate me if you think so, Rico, and give me some supporting evidence on it. When has he fallen short or underachieved previous to this?
I feel like Rico needs to call in.
What team right. do you think had, you know, next weekend aspirations, national championship aspirations, or national championship contending type rosters that he didn't achieve that with? I mean, he's my guy. I'm taking up for him, and I know that he's got his faults, but he ain't Les Miles.
No, but
if you think that Will Wade is Les Miles, you've forgotten how bad Les Miles was. The teams that Les Miles was losing with were much better football teams than this team is a basketball team, and this team's good. If they come out next year is going to be his best team he's ever had. Ever. And he'll have some pressure on him to be a contender. And if this is back-to-back seasons where he struggles offensively and they get beaten games because they can't score and they can't move the ball or find the basket, then sure, I'll start the conversation with you. But up to this point, I'm not seeing anything that says every single year he's got championship teams and he falls short. Les Miles was doing that nearly every single season. So I'm not buying in that he's the Les Miles of basketball. I don't think that he's much better of a basketball coach than Les Miles is. Does he recruit better than he coaches on the floor? Yeah. Is he going to improve the coaching on the floor? Yep. So if he keeps getting players and he improves his coaching, I think LSU is going to be in a really good spot.
I mean, I guess the real argument is look at Les Miles inherited at LSU that was ready-made a winner. He didn't have to build anything. He just took over the keys to a Ferrari and kind of drove it a little bit. Will Wade put the car together.
In the air.
And yes, he's a program builder. He built you an LSU basketball program that you care enough to even ask the questions about. Les Miles was gifted a perennial national championship team and still managed to shit down his leg half the time.
Piss down his leg. Wear a catheter during games.
Oh, I forgot about that.
He did?
Yeah.
Wow. What a guy.
So he can piss himself.
Is he just nervous? Like overactive bladder? Is it like medical?
I don't know. I just think that you're in the middle of the head coach can't sneak out and piss in the middle of a football game.
Well, halftime.
Sure. I don't know if he can hold it.
Wow.
I'm talking about the first and second,
He
third
really
and fourth.
peed
His
on
bladder
himself?
was that.
I didn't pee on
poor.
himself, but he would wear something that would catch it in his
okay.
pants.
I bet a lot of them do that, right?
No, that's like NASCAR drivers only.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, they do it. So
Yeah.
why not? Like,
I mean, I would do it all day if it was normal. I would wear one right now.
maybe it is normal. We don't know.
Are you-
I don't mean normal for like us sitting here, but I'm talking about
Would you
like.
some news you're about to
I'm
break?
talking about like coaches. Like
She has
others
some
can
news she
do
wants to
that.
break.
Y'all aren't wearing a catheter.
Speaking of
I'm wearing a catheter right now.
It's an accessory to these yoga pants.
I mean, right?
Comes with them.
Can't see it.
It's actually quite convenient. I don't know what the fuss is about.
I mean, I think that was like kind of like Les's stance when people were like, "You do?" And he's like, "Well, yeah."
Yeah, what's
Wouldn't
wrong with
you if you
you?
could?
And aren't
Yeah, he
you?
makes it sound normal. So maybe other coaches do it.
I don't know the prep and all that.
Yes,
seems
I
very,
agree.
Like,
I agree.
Perhaps
prep.
to like put a catheter in.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's
All
what we're
of
doing
that.
before the game. We got a football to coach.
Right. How you going to stop him on third down, Coach?
Well, I might have to pee, so let's take care of this.
Just give me a minute. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Where are you
That's
going?
why he was maybe. Whenever he was just looking at the clock during those, he was just peeing.
Yeah, he got probably was.
Mouth open, finger in the ear. Just
I was forgiven less. I get it now.
got people barking on him in the headset.
Just
Hang on, fellas, I'm pissing. My bad. Hang on. What's the deal? We got 1:24 left. It's 3rd and 5. What are we calling, for God's sakes?
Toss dive.
1, 2, 1, 2. Ready, break.
Did he say for sure it was a catheter? It wasn't.
I guess
like
it's
an
not.
adult diaper?
I probably missed. But is that what those are? I mean, is that what you?
Catheter?
I know what a catheter is, but is that
I think that's like the only way.
is that the only way you can do
I
it?
think
No, you
that's-
can wear
that's
an
probably-
adult diaper. What do you mean?
Let's start that rumor.
astronaut
Let's
lady.
start that rumor.
Yeah, Les
Remember that
Miles
lady
adult
did that
diaper
on her
wearer.
drive
Yeah.
to Florida? That astronaut wore an adult diaper
No,
and
let's
just
just start
never
that
stopped
rumor.
for the bathroom.
So he was pissing and shitting in his pants.
Yeah,
well,
you
know
might as
what?
well if you're wearing a diaper.
And on the field too.
And on the and eating grass, a great diet. It was running right through him. The fiber.
Call Will Wade and see if he wears a catheter.
No way he does.
He drinks a lot of water though.
He does drink a lot of water.
Maybe he's wearing.
It's
a
almost like
diaper,
he's got his own bottle.
He does
that
have
he
his own
keeps
bottle.
that he keeps
Yeah,
on
he
that.
does.
Yeah.
He does sip it very weird.
Yeah.
He lips it.
You see, it seems
boozing?
angry. It's an
Huh?
angry sip.
It
every
is.
time.
But he.
That's why.
I wonder if
he,
it's water.
He mouths it.
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't-
And it's his bottle. It's
It
the
is.
same
It
one
has to
every
be.
time. Yeah.
It better
Everybody
be.
drinking from that one.
In a post-COVID world, that better be his bottle.
He
I
always-
mean-
that's like second on his list. He's like, "Where's my water?"
Yeah, I
And
mean,
he
he can actually kind of find it
pretty quick.
like
yeah.
standing straight, looking this way. He can just reach behind it and snag it. And I mean, he'll just kind of. I don't know. He does. It's weird when the camera's catching him.
I'm so
take
scared
the
he's
sips.
listening today.
We need
they
to
play
ask
Kentucky
him.
tonight.
Yeah.
They're like, he's gonna find
If
out
he's
all
listening
the
right
things
now,
we're
he's in big
saying.
trouble. He's in big trouble. And this is stuff that I would tell to his face.
I'll drink
Absolutely.
after
Yeah,
you,
absolutely.
Coach.
I'll drink.
after
Yeah,
So would I.
me too.
Drink out of
I
your
mean, so would
bottle.
I.
Drink your spit.
Oh, we'll wait all day.
That's what Katie wanted to say.
I will wait.
I will wait.
I will
Is there
wait.
milk in
I
your
will wait for you.
Yeah, I will wait for you.
I wonder if he has. It's probably something that he like. It might be different than water. Like maybe his little like Powerade or something.
Maybe.
My high.
Knowing
Yeah.
him, he's probably got like this game day
That's
concoction.
something Michael's secret stuff.
You know what I mean? A little bit of salt, a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of water. You don't know anything about it. Like, all right, forget it, dude.
drinks
Little
a lot
Heinz
of Coke,
57. You know,
What,
just,
yeah. What if he's drinking Coke? He
probably is.
Yeah. Oh.
Mountain Dew. Zion got me.
I can get him here.
Right.
We put Kool-Aid in all of the water bottles.
What's your favorite color, Z?
Yeah. Plus 200 on blue. It's not Powerade Zero. Don't
Walk into
worry.
practice and Zion's got an apron on, stirring the
That's what the
Kool-Aid.
gumbo pot's for.
What up, coach? You gonna play today, Z? Hell no. All right, cool.
Gotta get this guy. Get this
You want to
flavor
tweet
just right.
something out?
Yeah.
I don't know. Send me a picture of a Pelicans game.
Oh my God.
I'll put it on my Instagram.
It wasn't even from, from
They didn't even play last night.
Right. I don't even know if they have those uniforms anymore.
Is that the Hornets?
What is that?
Chris Paul?
Is that Jamal Mashburn?
Oh, jeez.
But
Where are we?
it's also like it's a good way for him to probably avoid technicals. He just when he gets angry, he just goes straight for
Yeah.
the bottle.
Yeah.
Like because he got a tech in like 5 words or fewer last 2 games ago.
I feel like he's
He
trying to
got a
control
terrible
more.
tech.
That's what I'm saying. He said it in, like in 5 words, and he was like, "I don't even know how that happened." Did you see the tech last night
He knows what he said.
for the UConn coach?
Dude, what is that?
No,
Oh,
he
yeah.
did. I didn't see that.
That felt like elementary school basketball. Like that felt like a referee, and I've been guilty of this before. And the first time that it happens to you, you're supremely, and it was the only time it's ever happened to me because I was so embarrassed and was just berated by an older official that I couldn't believe that I was watching that last night at that level, because usually that stuff gets smoked out like on a bitty basketball floor or like a Catholic League middle school floor or like a freshman JV game in high school where an official thinks that people are there to see him, that people are really like paying attention to what he's doing, and it's his responsibility to keep the game. And when the UConn coach is turning around and getting the crowd, this is Danny Hurley.
Yes.
This is Bobby's brother. You know how much basketball Danny and the Hurleys have come? I mean, like Danny said in the postgame, he's like, I've been thrown out before. I mean, like, this has happened to me before. Never in this type of instance did this happen. I mean, it was the most elementary move of an official, and I still can't believe it. Shows you, to me, the first thing that I thought was that they do have they've got serious issues at officiating if they're allowing this type of personality to call this game. Exactly. Where you're going to get your feelings hurt, because by the time you get there, by the time you get to college, I mean, after what happened to me from Kenny Allman, the East Ascension High School coach, in a summer league game at Bishop Sullivan, like some random Tuesday that I get out and go call a summer league game, and he undressed me. I mean, just talk down to me, because I mean, he taught me how to be an official. Really, I mean, and I'd imagine that every official that's serious about it has had either one, two, multiple of those experiences, because there's just those types of personalities in the game.
So what happened with your scenario? Where you were officiating?
I was officiating a summer league basketball game at St. Michael. I was 32 years old, 31 years old. I mean, the game started at 5:30. I rolled up at 5:28. You know what I mean?
I'm here.
Relief meted.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Not supposed to wear shorts, got shorts on in the summer league type move. You know what I mean? Asshole.
Yeah.
Right? Walk into the game at 5:31. You had 5-on-5 standing in the middle of the floor waiting for you, the second official, to show up. As soon as I walk in, the guy hits his whistle, throws it up in the air. I get down to the side of the court. East Ascension's playing Bel Air or somebody. You know, it's just a random game. And Kenny Allman was the head coach at East Ascension at that time, but he allowed his assistant to coach the summer league team, Travis Usey, who's now the head coach at Sandoval. And Allman saw me walk in. I didn't see him, but he saw me in my style. Look at this guy. Little punk ass. Think he's going to walk in here late. Got everybody waiting on him.
Smell good.
Can't wear shorts. He's got the shorts on. Out there running. Coming in here to keep himself in shape.
Yeah.
Is all he's doing. Run a couple of sprints. And the first time the ball went into the corner next to him, he was standing on the sideline. And when the ball went out of bounds, I was probably about a second and a half late to hit the whistle. Ball went out of bounds. It hit the wall. And I hit what you got that whistle for? If you're not going to blow it. And I turned around, and when I saw that it was Kenny Allman, I was like a deer in headlights. And he followed me up the floor, walking with me. I'm talking like 3 feet away from me, not like in the stands. Like he was walking the sideline with me in front of the benches, scores table, other bench. Wearing me out. Wearing me out. If you're not going to take this stuff serious, then what are you doing here? If you don't know when to blow the whistle, you just want to give me the whistle? Are you just coming out here to run sprints and keep yourself in shape, pretty boy? Huh? And I'd look at him. Don't look at me. The game's going on.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
That's tough.
Don't talk to me.
This is the best coach in the state at this point. Like this is the dude. This is the man. This is Carlos Sample right now. You know what I mean? The king of the throne, following me up and down the floor. I mean, the first quarter couldn't end. I mean, I'm watching the clock like watching grass grow. I mean, like it ain't happening. And as soon as the buzzer goes, I mean, I'm like, I like walk across the court to him like he's the principal. He didn't even call me over. I'm just was like, Coach, I'm sorry. Like I probably shouldn't be here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, my bad. And he just like wouldn't talk to me in the moment. And then after the game, he sat me down and told me, he said, look, man, you obviously know what you're doing out here. For somebody to show up on some random Tuesday and call a summer league game, you obviously love basketball. But you can't be an asshole. If you're going to come out here, then work on being a better official. Officials don't wear shorts in summer league games. I know you got the memo. Officials show up 20 minutes before the game minimum to meet the coaches, know the rules, get the players. They don't show up at 5:31 for a 5:30 tip-off. When the ball goes out of bounds, you don't wait a second and a half to blow your whistle. Because if that was a real game, I'd want to know, whose ball is it? Because you didn't blow the whistle, I'm in your ass already. You know, I'm sitting there like, holy God. I didn't know y'all watched it that closely. You know what I mean?
Like, you probably did watch a play of that first quarter.
Dude, I was so tight. I was so tight. And every call I made, I was like, is this the right call? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, like I saw a walk one time. The guy, I mean, he slid down the floor. I was like, you know, people like, walk, walk. Yeah, like, I couldn't even do the four. You know, like, oh my God,
with a charge.
Like, Jesus, get me out of here, man. You know, like, but I mean, it was a great lesson as far as like, dude, you gonna do this shit? Like, it's not about you. It's about these kids. These kids are playing summer league basketball. I'm trying to get a coach better. I'm trying to make this. I'm trying to turn him into a head coach. You know what I mean? You should be trying to call my games in high school. Is that what you want? You know, I'm like, yes, sir. Yeah. Well, then you need to show up on time and wear the right shit. Like, yes, sir. I got you.
Disrespected the sport.
Every time I see Kenny Allman to this day, he shakes my hand, looks me in the eye. Good to see you. Hope everything's well. I mean, but it was a great life lesson moment where it was like, grow the fuck up, man. Like, it's not, nobody cares about you here. You know what I mean? He said that kid, and like he told me, he's like, I told that other referee, throw the ball up. Tip the game. They ain't waiting on him. You know, like he just walked in at the right time. But if you walk in,
we were starting.
If you walk in 30 seconds later, that game's moving up and down the floor.
That's even worse.
That's worse. Well, it's actually from a referee, you can kind of flow in. You know what I mean? You can kind of like at the games, you can kind of just, as long as the ball's on the other side of the floor, you can kind of just walk in.
I'm talking,
but if Allman would have seen that, oh my God.
From your perspective, you walk in and like the game's already going like,
oh God,
you're fucked up.
You're fucked. Yeah. Well, it's Kenny Allman's lesson coming right back and slapping you in the face. Who the fuck you think you are, man? You know what I mean? Like the game started at 5:30. You should have been here at 5.
Do you know that?
Yeah. I mean, very just matter of fact. It wasn't, hey man, I'm not here to, I could give a fuck if you don't want to be an official, but just don't show up and not be an official on my time. You know, I'm trying to get my program better. I'm trying to get my players and work my coaches. And I got to babysit your ass too? Like, no, sir. I promise. You'll never see. I mean, I came back next time. I look like damn Teddy Valentine to a summer league game. I was there at 4 for a 5:30 tip. I mean, in sands of belts full tucked in, black shoes. I mean, fresh cut, new shave. You know, like. Coach Allman was like, damn, why are you taking so serious?
Here?
Right. But, you know, I mean, when I saw that last night just like, oh my God, bro. Like, man, like, dude,
Get over yourself.
That is unreal. You're at this level. Still, I mean, I guarantee you officials this morning are like, bro, what was that?
I don't know.
You fucking nerd.
Yeah.
Like handle the game.
And I don't think UConn had beaten Villanova in how long? It was Jack obviously is a big UConn fan, so we were texting back and forth about the games. Like, can you believe this? Guy's like, Jack, I'm barely watching this.
Jack, we don't watch UConn.
Yeah, and we all bet on it yesterday, and then they had the ending was brutal. Terrible beat if you had UConn and without the points. I think it was -2.5, and they have a free throw to ice the game, and he misses it on purpose to get it to 3 because he wanted the clock to run out. So he just like hit it off the rim, and the game was over. But he just make it.
They haven't beat him since 2014.
Yeah, 2014, and you kick out the coach.
Heard Jack
at home.
Got to give my man his credit.
It was at UConn, and he ousts the coach.
Yes,
they storm the floor, and he's not there.
Unreal, man. I mean, like.
Oh, yeah. That's the move.
Musselman?
Yeah,
should have.
Hurley went Musselman?
No, he said he should have. He should have.
There's only one Musselman in college basketball, right? I mean, it can't be 2 of these guys.
That would be excellent.
Jeez, there's only room for 1.
They would wrestle.
Didn't Bruce Pearl have his shirt off in the student section during football season?
Tennessee, did he?
Tennessee, yeah.
And he was yoked.
He was yoked.
He wasn't Musselman. You know what I mean? Like
he got a little chunk to him.
If I had Bruce Pearl shoulders, I'd take my shirt off too. If I'm Musselman, dude, I'm staying in a hoodie.
Yeah.
Bruce Pearl might have been on the gas though. Whenever we were.
Cool.
On the gas, as in
steroids.
Oh,
nipples.
Wow, that's a hell of that's a hell of an accusation just to throw out there. Let's go alleged on that if you don't mind.
Allegedly.
Yeah, let's go alleged on that if you don't mind.
Here's
trying to build some credibility over here. I'd hate for the headline to be that the Culotta shows claims that
Bruce
Pearl's on roids.
Jeez, that's what we need.
Look, I mean, I'm just saying.
That's exactly what we need.
Exhibit A.
Let me see this guy. Is this Tennessee or Auburn?
This is Auburn. So.
Oh wow. Damn.
Auburn versus Georgia. Actually, this is the game.
Bro, he's got some Aaron Donald type traps.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's the time.
That looks like a head on someone else's body type thing. I don't know.
That is a scream.
What's the bottom though?
That is a scream from the toes, bro.
And this is him at.
This is him at Tennessee.
Yeah.
They have.
You have another photo?
I do.
I remember the Tennessee one.
That's what the one. I didn't know he did that with Auburn.
The Tennessee one, he ran down the. I mean, like he was like storming the floor at Tennessee.
He was painted up with the students.
Yes,
he was
front
painted
row
up with the V. With the V.
As Pat Summitt went over. Look at.
I mean, this is awesome.
Dude.
Yeah, keep the shirt on. I would say. Yeah.
This was like he wasn't at Tennessee for very long when he did that either. Like this was like his like I'm at Tennessee moment.
Buy tickets.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, look how happy
I'm
he
looking
is.
at the belly area though.
Yeah,
that's like a
just
cavernous belly button.
Yeah.
He has a dad bod.
How many fingers?
Yeah, dad bod.
That looks like it. That's
How many fingers?
Could you fit in there?
In his belly button? I do not know. I don't even want to think about that. That is an awful thing to think about. Like, so gross. That
looks like a tunnel. Looks like a tunnel to Florida.
Cavernous.
No one's ever asked me that before.
Well, there's kinks everywhere, Katie. We found yours.
Oh my god! That is
Belly
not
button
mine.
fetish, Katie.
That is not my kink.
I think that Bruce has gotten
Why?
a little bit better, a little bit bigger. I think he's gotten
I
in
do
better
too.
shape
Well, since then,
since
yeah.
Auburn.
I wonder if this is why.
You mean this is better shape?
No, I'm
No,
calling
this
this
one.
is
Okay.
this is
This is the
pre-shape.
before.
I mean, look at Pearl.
No, the belly's still there. He's just flexing and doing this. Like
Been in
it's
the weight
different.
room,
The
though.
pecs are like
Coach,
engaged.
you gotta have traps to make him
flex
do
them,
that.
yeah.
Like I understand that he is in full flex and he is red faced and he is screaming from his toes in this picture.
Yes.
You
But-
can hear it.
Yes, I feel like he's yelling at us. I am not on roids. Okay, Bruce.
Okay, bro.
Okay, man.
Look at my stomach.
Your traps are out of control, dude.
He's awesome.
If we saw the belly button in that picture, it would still be cavernous. I know it. I can see
Ooh.
it. Jeez, it's
Nightmares.
just a black hole.
I wonder if he claims it.
Ugh, in the
I
belly
wonder
hair,
if
like
that's what I'm saying. I wonder if he saw the pictures and was like, "Ooh, I gotta kind of tighten up."
Yeah, I got to
a
get
little
back
bit.
on that. I got to get back on
on
that
the
shit, man.
gas.
I got to get back on that shit.
But he looks like he has old like high school linebacker body.
Yes.
Or like played
Yeah.
like
It is like
D2
that.
college football.
Who's our boy at Manny? The killer.
Oh God, Tackett.
Tackett.
And I mean that's where the allegations may be
What?
alleged.
Ah, leave our boy alone. We need our guy.
We need him.
You shut the fuck up over there, for God's sakes, man. Fucking Bruce Pearl got Will Wade out of jail, and we're trying to land Tackett the recruiting cycle.
It's a compliment
Yeah, for who?
for him if he's natty. It's
I
a
know.
compliment.
I hear Pearl's got rabbit ears. I hear that he
hears all.
he hears all. We said something about him one time, and Wade called me and he said, "I just hung up with Pearl."
Really?
I said, "What about him?" He said, "He called me. He goes, you know this fucking Jordy Culotta guy?" Wade's like, "Yeah, he's good. He's fuck that guy. He's on there telling that me and you are both cheating. I got your fucking lawyer. Who is this guy?" Called me. He's like, "Yeah, you might want to back off." I was like, "Yeah." Dude,
Trying to give him flowers.
I'm praising the guy.
He's a great guy.
I mean, dude, he got us out of jail.
He did.
Legitimately.
Thank you, Bruce.
Yes, he did. Will, what are you doing? Who's your lawyer? This guy. Fucking
That's a
call
better-
this
that's a
guy.
Call this guy.
Are
Hurry
you
up.
out of your
Look what
mind,
we can
dude?
do now.
I'm down here at Auburn about to get a lifetime contract.
Shirtless.
Show calls. Get the hell out of here.
I'll show you cause.
Yeah, right. Check out these traps, Willie.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Bruce.
All right, have a great day. We are going to be live at the I cannot make the Brian Kelly press both today and tomorrow. I've got a meeting today, and then Stewie and I are in New Orleans tomorrow. Should be there all afternoon and can't make the women's game.
No,
Yeah,
you'll be back
definitely
in
gonna be
time.
there all afternoon.
Are we going to be represented at Brian Kelly?
What time
Noon?
is it?
Close.
Noon?
Jackie,
Jack
You wanna
whips his
go?
head around.
you got too much to do?
I
Brian
can go.
Kelly press conference. He's talking about the offense today, defense tomorrow. You want to go? Mikey's show 11-1. We got a lot of stuff going on today.
And we got Friday.
Should we cut in there and cover that live on Mikey's show?
I don't know. That'd be a Mikey conversation.
That'd be a Mikey conversation.
Mikey's
Easy show
right now.
Easy
show.
Yeah.
Easy show.
Yeah, that's a veteran move. I think
Yeah.
Mikey still has the
He's
juice.
he's still young.
Yeah, still wants to do
drive.
He still wants to do
All
the
right,
show.
here,
Yeah.
take the car. Fuck.
That's the old
Drive it around.
handy and not move. Let's go live to the press. Carry this. I was like,
Absolutely.
thank y'all. This is awesome.
Yes.
Just press one button.
Handy and not. You want to take the pregame stuff too? Absolutely. Play it all.
Commercial
Let Bonnet
breaks.
make the announcements. Tell them what's going on in gymnastics Friday night.
Anything about the breaks? We'll make them up tomorrow.
Yeah, don't worry about it. In fact, we're going to head out.
Yeah.
You got this?
See you later.
If they come back early, you just wrap up the show if you don't mind, huh?
I could hear the silverware clinking and then eating. I was like, they're not even. This is awesome. Just
Hey, Charlie!
two old heads.
Pass that ketchup, Charlie. Who we like tonight?
Yes. Hear the ice clinking in the drink, and I was like, they're out.
All-Star break opens up tonight, Charlie. NBA action back on the wood. Who we like?
Got a couple overs.
That 8 points is big for Kentucky, huh?
See that game?
What's our guy? What's Tackett's what's his first name?
Tackett
Curtis. Oh,
Yeah.
what a musket. Jawline like a damn movie
Let's see
star.
if he's shirtless.
Oh,
Gotta be.
He's shirtless.
He's better be.
Everyone's
Tackett.
shirtless.
You fucking better be shirtless,
Yeah.
bro.
Oh, dude, him and Jack Besh on the same team.
I mean,
Muscle heads.
They're gonna be
Boom.
Oh, yeah.
I see it from here.
Yeah.
I see it from here, dude. First picket of Tackett.
Yes.
I love this guy.
Yes. I mean, this is sophomore year, I think. Too.
His film. Have you seen this cat's film?
Oh yeah.
This guy is a mass
I'm on it.
murderer.
He is. He's
He
a
is
walking
a
felony.
mass murderer.
Walking targeting call every time.
He how many games has he gotten thrown out of?
None.
Not
I think
enough.
He has. Yeah.
They don't call
that in high
targeting
school.
on him?
No.
They don't
How?
call targeting in high school.
He'd get thrown out of his first college game.
Absolutely. First play.
First play. I mean, he's a bullet.
They're lining him up at free safety, just so he's 5 extra yards.
Give him a head start every play.
And look,
I love how they use him.
What's funny is he lines up in a linebacker position
Yes.
at free safety.
And his celebrations, bro. I mean, like he's like Latimer.
Oh my god, dude.
I mean, he looks like that topless T-shirt I have. Of the
Yeah.
chest.
Yeah, Coach O.
Yeah.
He does.
He's probably loving this. It's gonna get back to him. He's gonna be like,
Good.
"Oh, dude,
Tackett. We're on your
Yeah.
fan club. Come on our
Look
show.
at this guy.
Look at Tackett.
Let's go grinding.
Yes.
Seat at the table."
Starting defense. Bruce Pearl's probably like, I want this Tackett Curtis kid from down in Manny. Can he play power forward?
He's probably trying to recruit him to the football team.
Yeah,
Have
that's
y'all
what I'm
seen
saying.
this kid shirtless? Looks like a young Bruce Pearl.
Tackett, don't overthink it. LSU loves you, bro.
We love you.
Golly, man, would you be great at LSU? Don't do Texas A&M, man, for
Please
God's
don't.
sake.
That's
It's
not your
over.
style.
Such a fucking
I
follower
just
over
pulled up
there.
a picture of him at Texas A&M too.
Tackett?
Yeah.
What's he loving it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a picture of him on the visit with the cowboy hat on.
All right, Tackett. Bad fit, bro.
Terrible fit.
That's a bad fit. That is
pretty cool.
That's the best photo room in
Yeah,
recruiting.
the photo
You
room's
think
good,
so?
but
Yeah, I think
that's
they have the best photo room in recruiting.
They have the in on Jordan Matthews too from Woodlawn.
Really?
They're heating up with him.
Oh,
He's taken like 4 visits there.
LSU's is no good. LSU's is just a light show with some spinning
Yeah.
cylinder in the middle.
Matt
some LSU
Turnquist
stuff.
worked very hard on that, and he put it together all by himself.
But
Oh, wow.
and Tornquist is incredibly
stud.
Creative
yeah.
mind.
But maybe
Great.
get some help.
But yeah, I mean, he needs a budget.
I mean,
like,
Should be doing this at home.
we can use this.
Yeah, he put it together in his garage.
I've got a motor I can thring this thing
Yeah.
on. It can spin.
It spins.
Yeah, maybe we can put Kelly behind a couple of guys, make it look real weird.
Make sure he faces this way.
Right.
Let's get weird.
Yeah, right. Can we go butt to butt? No. Nut to butt here. Okay. All right. It's gonna be weird, but
Yeah, this is our best take. And then, well, isn't that who's that was the tight end that went to Alabama?
Yeah, Danny Lewis.
And is that the same guy that you're talking about, the safety?
Oh, Derek Williams. They go to the same high
yeah,
school.
Yeah, I think that's what
Well,
they're- yeah.
that is Kayshawn's high school.
Yes.
Yep.
But I think they're
That's
boys.
the same head coach too.
Yeah, I know. Derek Johnson. Is it Derek? No, Derek Williams.
Derek Williams is the player. The coach is damn, I'm having a brain fart. Sorry.
There you go.
Coach is Ryan Antoine.
Oh,
Yeah. Coached at West St. Mary too.
Natchitoches?
No, that's in
No,
in Baldwin.
What's it?
which
There's
is
a St.
like-
Mary in Natchitoches. You know?
Oh, yeah.
St. Mary High
That's
School.
There are
West.
no players there,
I'm
Coach.
saying West St. Mary.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, that's good Wednesday in the books. Appreciate Sean Fox for stopping by. A very active day of sports tonight. LSU baseball, 6 o'clock. LSU basketball, 8 o'clock. Brian Kelly meeting with the press today at lunchtime. We'll have all of that for you. Salute to Tackett.
Makes me want to work out.
Right, exactly.
Motivation. This also makes me want to work out.
Yeah, that should.
Like and share. Have a great day. Go Chevrolet
That's
driving us.
burned into my mind.
For the entire crew, we'll talk to you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Mic'd up, coming up at 11 a.m.
Oh, and still Friday? Fred's.
Friday at Fred's is
Yeah,
it's
that's
in.
what I'm saying. So keep
Every
people aware.
home baseball game.
We're there.
Yes, write it down.
Come
this
see
is
us.
the schedule. Every home baseball game on Fridays, starting at 3:30, Mic'd Up will originate from the Fred's under the tent on the stage. So just make a note of it. If you got the schedule in your phone already lined up, every Friday that LSU's playing at the box, Mic'd Up will originate from Fred's starting at 3:30 under the tent on the main stage. Please help me welcome to the main stage.
Welcome to the main stage.
what I was
Bruce
thinking.
Pearl.
Yes.
Hey.
Maybe we should get Mikey to take his shirt off.
Yeah. He's a podcaster at day and a big leaguer at night. Please help us welcome to the main stage, Mikey Montauk. Mic'd Up, 11 o'clock this morning. Make sure you're subscribed. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m.
Ticky, ticky.